And yeah, underneath your wheelbase, what is it called?
He's using the stand, the one that has thing.
Yeah, the stand. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
what I
using
mean,
a
yeah.
cheap ass wheel stand. It's
Yeah.
shaky.
You should find a way to like reinforce it or some shit. That's so shaky.
Yeah, I wanna get a I think it's called the GT Racer 2.0. It's like a little cockpit. Cheaper cockpit.
Nice. Yeah.
It's by Next Level Racing. They just came out with it.
SPC, what's your specs?
Talking about that carpet that's so pointy, like a nose. It has like a pointy nose, like two bars together that has like going forward, like a pointy, like they try to do like some type of thing, but it just didn't look like it. Yeah, I've seen that carpet. Yeah, this looks pretty solid. Yeah, but the stand you're using right now is what I used to run. But mine was like a full rig instead of just a half stand.
Yeah, I want to get
honestly,
actually I'll bring it on stream.
I like
Where's it?
Yeah, added more immersion to it, I guess. In my own
Yeah, it looks like it's sitting in the car.
GT.
Then, on this whole steel beast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get what money can buy until I get like a bigger rig. Wait, hold on. How much is this? Wait. GTLE is only 600, but
I didn't realize I was muted. If you look at the GT Omega Prime Elite, that's extremely affordable. It's like fucking, it's a 2080 extruded, but it's it's only a 2080 instead of a 4160. So what was I doing
All
before?
the drivers are falling asleep. I'm just flying around the track.
Dude, I'm playing and my screens aren't even set up. They're flopping all around and shit.
Is it this one?
Oh shit! You got the full inertia set up. That looks dope.
What's it called?
Well, here
Motion
we
rig.
go. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to round 3 of
What was that?
Masters 2025. My name's Ian Waddington.
You're like
Saying
moving around and shit. That looks insane.
Oh, look at that.
I would love to have a go on
Flexing
that.
along the wall as Nielsen goes for it, right to the edge of the circuit. You
Milwaukee,
can get closer
Wisconsin,
if
come
you
on through.
try.
I got you.
Wow, Uran Nielsen, very smooth, buttery smooth. I mean,
What
if
up,
you put a
M2?
drink in the cup holder, I don't think it would have spilled on that
Not a
entire
drop,
run.
not a drop.
So buttery smooth with that entire thing, but still flirting with danger at every single zone, every turn, getting the car tangled like so quick. But like, look at this.
We got
just
Drift
hanging
Masters
on,
qualifying
gets that
rounds.
car out. I don't see any adjustments in that
We
front
just
wheel
got
through
done
that
with
zone.
New
Floats it
Jersey,
all the way
and
out.
now
What a
we are
great
off to
run for
Ireland.
Uran.
Well,
Man,
where they are. Yep,
just
Ireland.
Look at flirting with danger there. Nice little backfire. Look at that. Guidelines all the way through. Said, oh, you want edge of the zone? Okay, let me show you where the edge of the zone is. Through all the rest of this, and then touching the wall. Big car there. Lots of overhang. You know, it's the family-sized Supra, really.
Yeah.
And yeah, able to
That
get through
chassis
and
is
just
too
touch it
damn
on there.
long.
So technically proficient through this entire run. Gets on throttled, enough grip dialed in that pops the front end up. Uran Nielsen really showing.
Wow. Look
Ooh,
at
a
that.
95. That's
from Norway.
insane.
95 dead.
A
on the ball
95.
for Uran Nielsen as he puts himself into first position, and he's done it before.
That is
here
not gonna
in
be easy to
Mondello
beat.
Park. He said he loves this track, and it shows. We keep the action flowing as we go back to the start line. It's going to be Jakub Bruskonski in this Toyota GR86.
Come on, Drift Masters. Don't start lagging on me now.
As
There we
Bruskonski
go. Red Bull.
looks to get the job done. Look at this, cool, calm and collected as he fires through the gears, flicks that GR86 to angle, little dab of the handbrake as he now puts the car right where it needs to be. We spoke about this man's line driving before. He's absolutely technically advanced. He puts it where it needs to be, right to the edge of the circuit. And look at this, once again, another driver that's found the limits. Right to the wall he goes as Bruskonski puts the back bumper along the wall, puts the rear wheel on the white line and across the line. And
How
now
much
we're
is
in for a
that?
treat, Mondello.
That was pretty clean. It wasn't.
These scores are going to keep going up. and
He
it's gonna
wasn't
get even
aggressive
tighter
like
as
the
we get
other
through this
driver,
first
but
set
that
of
was
runs
pretty
here in
clean.
qualifying.
Pretty clean.
Jakub Bruskonski what I like is that, as you said, he's very,
Looked a
very
lot more
technical.
smoother and
It's
in
just,
control.
It's mathematical. He was even asking the judges, how do you want me to go from zone to zone? I know you want me, this is what you want in the zone. Where do you want me between the zones? Which is something most drivers just go, I'll get to that part. You know, I'll deal with that part. But he wants to know that. But what I do like and what has changed about him, especially over this year, is that he's adding more style, he's adding more flair, and it looks like just having more fun.
Yeah.
Right? And really, really loving the sport and loving the competition. And when you've driven so many different things and been at such a high level of competition, it becomes like clocking into work. And what we're starting to see here is that now it's partying with friends. It's going out and touring with your buddies, and that is what is needed to get those style points and get those angle points, because line can only take you so far, but style is more of a feeling. And you can start to see this through these runs where he's enjoying it and really challenging himself, which is so great to see and is going to start reflecting a lot of these scores.
Wow, and there we go, a 96 for Pruszkonski as he jumps himself into first place.
There it is.
Look at there it is.
19 out of 20 on angle. That is not something you would have normally seen him.
Oh, snap. He went airborne there for a few seconds.
The tiniest of corrections on that front wheel, but man,
no
just
words.
hairs.
No words.
Oh,
Right.
man, here comes the
Big shoes to
beast.
fill. The scores are pumping up. Can they keep them going as we go
Keski-Korpi. You better go crazy.
Finland, this BMW F22 Eurofire.
You better
off the
go
line.
crazy with the angles.
BMW turbo engine underneath the bonnet, making.
Come on, stop the lane.
What can he do as he fires
There we go.
the curb, but looking good so far from this young man. Problems with the car yesterday in practice, said it felt like it had half the power because he had a wastegate issue. Now it looks like there's no such problems with power as Keski-Korpi starts to navigate his way around. Mondello Park puts a rear wheel to the line, bumper towards the wall. He looks for that final zone and he gets the job done.
I don't know if his spotter or anybody called him and said,
Insane.
just listen, there was a 96 before you. But me, Keski-Korpi, just on
That
it. And
was
look, unless it's
insane.
perfect, his team's not impressed.
Even if it's perfect, these Finnish guys, they rarely smile.
They just keep pushing for it.
Yeah.
And he's one of the first drivers that's dealing with an issue that a lot of drivers have talked to me about, which is the amount of smoke that they're making now.
Yep.
And how fast these cars are going. That smoke wall from that first outside zone is actually meeting them as they get into the later parts of this track. And the wall being white, the smoke being white, it gets very difficult to line up. You can see even through here, the camera having to punch through the smoke. Great transition for Keski-Korpi. And then now, it's really tough to see through that section.
Yeah.
The smoke starting to blow back this way as it comes down the chute and into that last zone.
Come on, give us the
Mika,
points.
though, I mean, just driving through instinct. What a great run.
Oh,
89.5.
89.
Can't be upset with that.
No, he certainly
Still
won't be
good.
upset with that.
Still
That's
good.
for sure. Jacob puts
And
himself
the
into
95
sixth position, and we
market,
start to
but-
ramp up the scores. We go back to the start line
Hey,
for 2024's
Conor
Rookie of the
Falvey.
Year, Conor Falvey from
Hey,
Corp
it's
2JZ,
crazy.
950
He's
horsepower,
2 years
carbon
older than
Kevlar
Manoa,
S15.
bro.
Teaming up with Drift Games once again for
That's
2025.
17 years
Conor
old.
Falvey comes off the line, done something very,
And Manoa is like,
very
what, six?
impressive
I think
practice
Manoa's
runs earlier
15
on. A lot
years
of
old.
pressure on this young man's shoulders this weekend. All I
Want to save money on your car insurance?
What
Jerry
the
is the app to
Oh shit,
download.
YouTube does this now? Okay. Or is this like
Jerry calls
nice and early, a little
Okay.
touch and left foot brake to get the back end to
that's new.
stick to the white line as he now flicks it towards the wall. Look at that, flexes the spoiler, disposes of a tail light as Conor Falvey puts their car right on the edge of the circuit and across the line.
Falvey's taillight budget, I think, is most teams'
You don't even
entire
wanna
budget
talk
for a
about it.
year.
Yeah, you don't wanna talk about it.
Those are not cheap taillights. Falvey, though, family's stoked. I mean,
Bro,
this,
his little
he
brother
has
looks
stepped
just
up
like him.
every
It's
single
insane.
event. We're watching a driver grow and develop in front of us. Started off with just a nasty flick and initiation there, and just crushing it all the way through this run. 67 degrees coming through that part, and just on throttle all the way through. No signs of slowing down. The only reason he decels before outside zone 4 is because the judges told him he had to. He would have been on throttle all the way through there, given the opportunity, and just very stable and very committed all the way. Tons of throttle through these transitions, coming off just a bit to get the car to hook, and then look at this. Fighting that car through, just all it wants to do is launch off, and Conor Falvey wrestles it all the way through the zone. Man, what an incredible job from such an amazing driver. And you forget about his age because he drives like he's twice it.
You certainly do, yeah. I mean, look, 17 years old, one of the youngest drivers on the grid. What could he do in qualifying, though? This is a big score, home track for Conor Falvey, and it's a 92.5. Falvey puts
go.
himself into
92.
third position at the moment with a huge score straight out
That's
the back.
insane.
And we've got some big scores coming in. qualifying on the second runs is going to be very, very interesting, that's for sure.
It's going to be
Conor
effing
Falvey
interesting when
with a
Manoa
tie
comes
right now
to
with
Ireland.
Keski-Korpi for the most
With the
average
drift
angle through a
masters.
run.
Wow.
And then it's
49.5
like the
degrees.
two
Well, there we
youngest
go, back on the
drivers
line.
ever.
U-Hart
Conor
Rintanen from
Falvey.
Finland, 42 years old, one of the oldest drivers on the grid, but old.
The oldest
means
driver in the
knowledge
grid.
As he comes through the gears,
On the
1,002
top.
horsepower in this Toyota GR86, 2JZ powered as he flicks it to angle. And look at this from Rintanen. He's a man that knows every single inch of every racetrack around Europe. He gets himself into
that was a
outside
little
zone
sketchy.
with a beautiful line, maybe a different line on the foot brake, trying to push the back end, that GR86 where it needs to be, on that perfect qualifying line
this
at the
is
moment. As
definitely
Juha
80
Rintanen
run.
puts a rear wheel into the zone, and across the line goes Rintanen from Finland.
Yeah, crazy, crazy run. Finding a different way to go at a few of these zones, which is really nice to see. He had a
People
couple
are
of
in the
crazy
comments are saying it's a
situations in
92,
practice,
bro. That is not a
but
92.
trying
run.
different
If it's a
things and
92,
trying to
that's
figure out,
gonna
okay,
blow my
what
mind.
can I do to make it different?
It was good,
really
but
getting
I
that
don't
car
think
out
it's a
to angle.
92.
Look, it's grinding that side skirt. Shows you how much weight and
Because
compression
Conor
and
Falvey got a
G-force those cars are going
92.5.
through. And when he gets out to the outside zone
This
4,
guy gets higher
dipping a
than him
wheel
and he
off track
barely sends
and then
the car.
back on it at the last second to get through it. So I don't know if that's exactly what he was aiming for, but trying to go as deep as he can through every one of these zones.
They certainly so, and Rintanen looking dialed, and for me it was the angle. If you watched on the replay, from initiation to outside zone 3, barely changed the angle on the steering wheel. Had it settled, didn't catch any understeer. Where a lot of these guys are, you know, I spoke to a few of the drivers, they're saying inside zone 2, they're taking off a bit of lock, then coming back on to deal with the understeer. You watch Rintanen, it didn't happen. Stayed on that perfect line, on angle, didn't touch the steering wheel. Well, I mean,
he was on a flipping white line. That's
You
insane.
have to touch it, but I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. I mean, I could see him just driving with his right foot. I could see him hands off the steering wheel and just using the throttle to get the car around the track.
Well, there we go. Good score. Judges
86, I knew it.
us, though, and 86 on the
You
board.
got it's the momentum. He didn't have a lot of momentum. That's all. He had the perfect lines, but not the momentum that he needed. Oh my God, it's my driver.
We go back on the line. The man from Poland, Piotr.
Come on,
right
Wick.
now, Super Mark
Bro.
5.
You got to get back on the podium, bro. Stop letting people play with you. That car is pissing me off. I used to be excited when you made that car, but now it's pissing me off. Get back on the podium. Come on, let's go.
As Wiecek puts that car on
Let's
that
go!
Look at that rear wheels.
Don't
along
crash,
the edge
don't
of the
crash.
circuit. That was beautiful from Wiecek. Oh man, the way he got that car onto throttle straight away in that zone. This is absolutely beautiful from Piotr Wiecek right now.
Let's go!
Taillights towards the wall, but no damage sustained as he puts the bumper towards the wall.
Give him a
once again.
99 now.
Wiecek through there
I don't care if I'm
fast.
glazing. A 99. Matter of fact, 100.
He was going to crash.
He was so fast through that
was
run.
absolutely.
Let's go.
Honestly, I thought he was going to
Oh my God, I fucking hate that car so much after all the pain it's been making him go
through
through.
the gears, just cranking it, and then right here I was like, he's got too much speed. He can't
Let's
float it out,
go.
and then able to catch the car, and it's just so perfect, man. Piotr Wiecek, like just absolute legend through. Look at the stare.
Bro, he's not just
through
a
this zone.
legend.
Does he blink
he's-
at any point during that run?
Bro,
just
he used to be the
1,000-yard
king
stare
of
all the way
drift
through,
masters
just
before
looking for the finish line, going, I'm gonna
this
get through
new car came
I'm gonna
along.
push this
That
through,
started
'cause,
giving him
man,
trouble.
What a run.
Did you just see that on the replay? He touched the handbrake for like a millisecond.
It was nothing. It was just
Watch
to
this
settle
as
the
it
car.
comes into the outside zone. Ready? Boom,
That's
off.
it. Oh, so many drivers are having to drag it to get the car settled.
Yeah.
Not here.
Peter's like on, off.
Oh, man, and this is the fastest so far. 144 kilometers an hour coming into that.
You could tell, like, the speed throughout the run was just incredible. The way he was able to pick up the throttle so early and that car responded to it.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful to watch.
Insane.
Yeah, he's averaging 2 kilometers an hour faster than anybody else through this track.
Wow.
Wild.
Come on, it has
And
to be a
speed's not
90-point
score, but
run.
For me, I mean, it
Please.
went in my heart.
Please,
It
judges.
certainly does. So here we go. Scores dropping in. What's it going to be? It's a 99.5. Are you serious? It looked beautiful. It was beautiful.
Yeah. Don't play with my favorite driver, bro. Bro's been winning since 2016, bro.
Ireland. I am speechless.
Don't fuck around with my driver just because that damn new car has been fucking around a lot.
I didn't see it, but what an epic.
He used to make he used to make James Deane look like a little boy with that with his old
The
S15.
question is asked to Kevin
People
Pesur
keep
right
playing
now. The
with my
Estonian
fucking
driver
driver,
pulls up to the
bro.
line. He says,
No.
look, just a 90 will do me, just to get me in the top half of the show.
It pisses me off when a lot of drivers don't talk about him no more in their YouTube videos. Like you just forgot, bro, because of his new car issue.
Nice and early now, as Kevin Pesur manages his way, balances the car around the circuit here in County Kildare. puts the car where it needs to be. Nice line, but big handbrake drag into the outside zone as Kevin Pesur now puts his bumper towards the wall. Wheel along the line and across the line, a job done.
Yeah, just pushing all the way through, and another driver that's been able to get this very smooth and consistent all the way through practice. Going a little bit hard there on the initiation, cutting it just a little bit tight. But look at how stable he looks through here, and then he sees very early on where his line's at, able to make the correction very quickly.
Yeah, a lot of shallow. He was shallowing in a lot of places.
He might have. I mean,
not a lot of angles.
Some stuff, these drivers.
But I don't think it's that bad. It's like an 82 to 80.
At this point, but yeah,
if I know the judges well, they might give him a 76 at best.
Not
But
making it too obvious, and then
definitely an 80
makes
run.
up for it through the rest of this run, and just really neat to see how consistent he's been coming off the last event, doing quite well and able to push through. A driver that a couple of years ago, I mean, you talk about Kevin Pesur and go like he's starting to fight for this championship. He's in this championship race. And it's like, for sure he is. You see the way he's been driving and the way he's been progressing throughout the season. It's making sense, and he's really putting it down, especially on this qualifying run.
He certainly is putting it down. A few mistakes creeping in, though.
I knew
it. We see almost
88.
perfection. 88.
That's still good, though. That's still good. But he's going to keep getting pushed down if drivers do better than that.
And you kind of, you watch the next run, you say, I can see
who's next? Who's next?
Now the big handbrake drags, the transition points.
Yeah, Korpulinski.
Zones or not being as deep in
Come
the
on.
zone. Pawel Korpulinski now asked
He went crazy on Finland. Let's do it.
S14 comes off the line.
He gave James Deane a run for his money.
Another man that's absolutely clinical when it comes to
Come on, what is this lag, Drift Masters?
But he's not going to disturb him. As Pawel Korpulinski now puts that car right where it needs to be. And look at this, on the throttle nice and early. Another driver picking up the throttle early into that long outside zone and then consistently staying on it. Flicks the car from left to right, smashes the back end into the wall.
Kisses the wall, he gave the wall a kiss.
Tailgate as an air brake to slow him down across the line.
Yeah, it's a bold move to do that, but
Korpulinski's been driving like a new driver this year. That's insane.
Yeah, just something a little air jam there, you know, turning DRS off throughout this run. But Pawel Korpulinski, very smooth throughout the entire run, pushing it out to all the zones and just, I mean, good speed, good pace throughout this entire thing. I mean, it'd be a lovely run to chase. If I was a chase driver and this is out in front of me, I would absolutely be so stoked to see it. Pushing that angle out nice and wide throughout this section, maybe a touch more than what the judges were really wanting. They don't want it to. They don't want you over rotating through that section. They want you to stay on throttle and push all the way through. But yeah, just a solid run here. I mean, it's incredibly difficult, as we said. After seeing what was near perfection earlier on from Piotr Wiecek, these drivers have so much more to live up for, but there's still spots that come in, and perfection is still yet to be obtained. So there is more that you can push for in this run.
0.5.
Yeah, 0.5. And it's on angle. That's it. You need a little bit more angle. I don't know where, but the judges do apparently.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to ask them afterwards.
Yeah, we'll get into that discussion after. An 86.
An 86. I think because I think it's the momentum. That's what probably.
Yeah. Out of zone 6.
That was it. You need a bit more
angle there.
Yeah.
A man that's not scared
I mean,
of
he
any
had the angle.
Speed
I feel like he just didn't go fast enough.
Of the above, it's Jack Shanahan.
Jack! Bro, I saw this dude. I obviously didn't say hi because he looked pretty busy in New Jersey, but he's not that hot. He's not that tall. Oh! No!
What a send!
That was 100.
Maybe he was looking for that 0.5.
If he had saved that was a fucking 100.
Yeah, I'm not sure. You can see a bit of windshield damage. That was from earlier on in practice.
Oh my God!
Make a grand appearance, but
that's the type of shit you do in the sim.
Even at the beginning of the feint, it didn't look as aggressive as normal.
You don't see drivers do that shit all day. Oh my God!
So much of it. I mean, tried to save it, but completely blew out.
That's the type of shit you do in a sim, not in real life.
He might have been able to save it, but even at the feint, look at it was very subtle, and the car grips there, and then has to almost initiate a second time. Very strange from Jack Shanahan.
Yeah,
no, it's not strange. He wanted to do that shit. It just didn't. He couldn't save it in time because he missed the inside zone.
Completely different to how he assumed it was going to.
Oh man, that would have been an insane run if he did that.
Jack Shanahan go back to the pits. He'll be an angry man for now, that's for sure. But we keep the action moving as we go back to the line.
All right, what we got next?
In this BMW E46 with an M2.
Itay, 18. Holy shit, they keep getting younger and younger.
An F22. Some of these cars are replicas,
right?
As he comes off the line. Itay said they're doing an incredible job at round one. Now looking for a little bit of redemption, looking good this weekend. As he flicks that car to angle, very nice line at the moment.
He's got the momentum.
He's going to just about keep it out of the wall. Wow, what a save from that young man. Now, what has happened down there?
Okay, the tire's fine.
Is there something on the circuit?
It looks just a little bit turned.
It looks like maybe, I'm being told maybe
a little bit.
Okay.
But
judges going through those replays, it looks like Itay. He's okay. That's the biggest thing.
I think he understeered.
Spooky
he sent it.
When you're coming
left
down
foot brake.
That is not a fun
left
time
foot
to
brake.
realize that car is not going the
Understeer,
direction
and the
you
car
want it
just
to.
goes
Was
up.
it a front D-bead?
Front left.
Definitely an understeer. I think he left foot brake too long and got the
one
car
of
to
main
hook
things.
up.
We're going to take a look at this front wheel. Here we go, look. Yes,
Oh, it does, yeah.
front D-bead.
And that shows you how much
Oh,
compression is going
shit.
on.
And
The front
we've seen
tire
it in
went
slow-mos,
popped.
You know, previously to these runs.
Oh, lost
The
air
car
or some
comes over
shit.
The hill, the trailing wheel is off the tarmac.
Yeah.
So all of the weight is on that front tire. If you get a D-bead, you're a passenger.
There's nothing
Because
you can
it's
do at that
rim
point.
to tarmac, yeah.
Yeah, and especially if you add like a
I guess
left foot
he's-
brake or something as our media
The
team.
tire
By the
just
way,
went, lost
they're
all
on it.
air right there.
They're very much on it.
They're
But wow,
causing
I
him
mean,
to
that is
understeer in
about
the
as
end because
spooky as
obviously
things get for a driver.
Yeah,
he
well,
lost.
there we go. It's
Oh
gonna be a
man,
zero
that
there
sucks.
For, Itay set a 2 zeros back to back. For me,
That's crazy.
you know in your head, you think there's got to be something on the track there. There's
Yeah.
got to be something down the track. Look, our track staff are on it. They've been on it all weekend. And they would have seen it
Lauri
way
Heinonen.
before I would have noticed it. But
Fucking
no, it is a
wonker.
front D, but
Let's
there we
go.
Lauri Heinonen now sits on the line, the Finnish driver.
The
defending
speed demon.
champion. Sits on the line a little nervous, a little twitchy.
The
in the car.
fastest
His arm
driver
steering wheel
in
goes to
Drift
slam the
Masters,
visor
period.
shut.
Even
And
faster
slots
than
that
my
car
favorite
into gear,
driver,
tail
Wick.
lights missing as we see
I love you, Wick,
our
but
FPV
this
drone
dude is just
balancing behind.
full
He's gonna
throttle.
chase
He
down
doesn't give a
Lauri
fuck
Heinonen throughout
if
this
the
run.
engine blows
What
up
can
on him,
Heinonen
which
do?
it
He
has
knows
already
the bar
multiple
has been
times.
set for Wiecek. He's going to
Here
hammer
we
through
go.
the gears. This man yesterday apparently had the perfect run. Well, can he replicate that right now?
Look at
As Lauri
that.
Heinonen puts the car right where it needs to be, but he's wide.
Ah!
And the car didn't react, it didn't grip on the outside zone 3, but nevertheless he gets himself back into it as the Finnish driver now balances this NASCAR V8 Pro-charged
NASCAR, that's what it is. Oh my God, it sounds insane.
Across the line.
I don't know of a driver that makes more smoke than Lauri Heinonen. Like completely blanks out the back of that car,
Bro.
absolutely rolling, and that is some frustration.
Bro
He
just
knows that
full
was not a
throttle the
perfect
whole
run. That is
car,
up to
not
his
even
standards
letting
by any
off.
means.
It's
Putting
insane.
the front wheels through a zone that is meant for the rear wheels, but just a ton of speed
Just
coming through
full
there, and
throttle.
the car does not react, does not grip up what in the way that he was hoping for. As we get the brown cloud pushing out, showing just how wide he went through that section.
Okay,
and
wait.
that's starting to run
That
out a
section
little bit.
right there is a little
It could
weird
get pretty nasty. Look at the big
because in
pull there.
cockpit you
And he
can't
knows-
really see everything
he knows-
properly. Hold on.
Yeah.
It could get pretty just how wide he what in the way that he was hoping for as we get the brown cloud push.
Yeah,
Showing
this part right here, if they can just fix the tarmac and everything right here, they gotta fix this part right here because in cockpit view
just
you
how
can
wide he went through
barely
that section, and that's starting to
you
run
can
out a
barely
little
see
bit.
everything
Yeah.
on the road.
It could get pretty nasty. Look at the big e-brake pull there.
Yeah.
And he knows before he even gets
And
into
his
that
neck
zone
is like
that he's not in the
inwards
correct
because
spot.
of the
Grabbing another gear.
G-force and stuff. So
comes
it's
back
like
through.
Interesting, you can see him staring over, trying to slow the car down because he knew he was on
that part of the road is not
on
good
that
though.
wrong line,
I
but
gotta fix
judges
that
saying to
part.
me in the headset that it was almost 3 wheels off, but
Yeah.
they are going to give Lauri Heinonen a score. It was only 2 wheels off, so it will be still a score for Heinonen. Otherwise, it would have been a 0. You know what? I think these guys are coming out swinging because they've seen now. You know, we've had
They
a
have to come out
490s
and swinging.
80s coming
Right.
in.
Peter
The
just
second
put
round
a
of qualifying
fucking
is gonna be
99 run, bro.
Very mixed because we've got a lot of drivers sitting on zeros where
It's
they
a
had the patch
fucking
of rain or,
99. That's
you know,
literally
through the car
100,
circuit.
just 1 point
Shanahan,
away
for
from
instance,
100.
Itay said it. I think the second round of qualifying
Right.
here, round 4 of Drift Masters, is going to be a kind of.
I mean, you can always qualify by doing like 90 or 80 or 87.
A point to prove.
But
Yeah, and if you're
you know,
you're a Jack
to be the
Shanahan,
best,
have
you
to
gotta
think,
push.
Okay,
You
how
gotta
hard do I
push to
wanna
be the
push on
best.
this? And for him, it is very
Yeah.
difficult for him to rein things back and go, I'm going to do something safe. He is not known for being a safe driver, but that might be the play that he has to make is just try and get like an 85 or maybe a 90 on the
Finland
board.
winner.
Which, I mean, that's a safe run for a Jack Shanahan.
Exactly that. Well, we go
Let's
back on the line to the
go,
man from Norway,
Kvia.
Arne Kvia, the Norwegian sledgehammer sits on the
Yeah.
line. UZ V8 turbo.
He blew my mind in Finland. The fact that he won that was insane.
Saying that last night he
Let's
was
go.
the man with all eyes set on him as he puts that car to angle. And look at the line from Kvia, absolutely flying so far on the podium in Finland. He wants to be back.
He's trying to get that
again. He
99.
feels that
He's trying to
momentum.
get
He
that
feels comfortable
99.
back
For real,
in the
for real.
championship. And he told me he's back, baby. No messing around for the Norwegian sledgehammer as he puts the bumper to the wall, but no damage sustained as now Kvia opens up the floor, looks for that line, looks for that outer zone. He gets the job
That's our
done.
Finland
Yeah,
champion.
Kvia was doing some incredibly interesting and very risky things to do an initiation, which I don't think we really saw here. I think he's going to save it for the second run. So make sure when Tor comes up, pay very careful attention to his initiation.
The
So,
fastest chassis in the
shockingly, this
game
was a
is
safer initiation from
BMWs
him, but
and
still a
S
great run. As you see a
chassis.
bit of a correction there to get the car pushed out
They're
really
like the
wide.
fastest chassis.
Full commitment
Even
throughout
in the
this
sim,
entire
it's
run,
just
but,
they're so
Tor, I
quick. It's
really
not
do
easy to
think
keep up if you're
trying to
not
get
full
something on the
throttle.
board, make sure he's in through qualifying, seeing a couple of zeros ahead of him, going, okay, I need to make sure I'm in the show. And if he pulls out what he was doing in practice, we're in for a real treat. But a solid
And then the
record for
heaviest
Kvia,
chassis are
an
obviously
absolute
Mustang.
legend,
That's why they
Norwegian
need insane
drifting in it.
grip on the
Just a
tires.
downright great guy to hang out with.
Oh,
too.
an incredible guy to hang out
Otherwise,
with.
they
He's
would
always
not
got a
be
smile on his
keeping up.
face, regardless of what happens on the track or, you know, behind the scenes. And he's always happy to be. He's always happy to be in a drift car, and he loves being a drift master.
Yeah.
And Kvia, this, you know, for me, very interested. Fourth in the championship at the moment. He's ahead of Lauri Heinonen in points.
Yeah, so really interesting, and there we go.
And
93,
on the board,
yep.
Fourth position for Arne Kvia.
Definitely
I mean, if
worth
that's
a
a
93.
55% run, what does a 90% run look like?
Oh my God.
I think
that's a
he's got-
50% run.
The
He's got more.
machine.
Yeah, I think he has got more. Well, the
The machine. I can't believe I met James Deane in real life, bro. It was insane. It was so surreal.
The legend, the myth, the machine.
the
as he works his way
machine.
through the gears as James Deane pilots his Mustang down the hill. We witnessed the first runs ever at Mondello Park in this car just yesterday, and now he puts
Oh
it
my
on
God, it's a
display
fucking-
on show
it's a
for you guys in
99.
attendance and at
It's a
home as James
99, I
Deane
know it
works his
is.
way around Mondello. He knows this track.
I
like the back
know
of his
it
hand.
is.
Look at this. On the
Oh
throttle
my
nice
God, this
and
guy
early.
is
You
just
would've
so
seen his good
perfect. It's
friend,
insane.
Wiecek put a 99 on the board, but what does Deane do?
So
Oh,
fucking
man. And
nice.
listen, no matter what, if he would have just driven through
And
the
just
car, the
like
crowd
that,
here's
he
gonna
caught
love
up to
that.
my
But
favorite driver.
absolute
Oh
legend in
my
the motorsport
God,
and just
bro.
a hero here, an icon. And James Deane, admittedly, in practice, really having to get this car dialed, working with a lot of different things.
just
trying a
like
few
that.
different
He
things
made
to
it
get the
look
car to
so
do exactly
fucking
what he
easy.
wants. A little bit tight on that first inside clip, but then the rest of this run.
Team
all classic
RTR,
James
baby,
Deane.
let's
Tons
go.
Of throttle, tons of engine noise, very stable.
When it comes to Drift
Lacing that
Masters,
car through all the
I'm
zones.
team
Look at this,
Peter
just
all the
hucking
way.
that angle out, flicks it
And then
back
team
around,
James
on
Deane
throttle the
second.
entire time. Very
But when
tricky
it's
to
in the
do, but
US,
as
I'm
you said,
team
James Deane,
I'm team
I think he was
RTR,
basically
team Mustang,
raised here
team
at this point.
Yeah,
Team
he
James
might as well have
Deane
been
and
born
Hubspin
here
all
and
the
lived
way.
here because he's drove this track more than anyone else and had probably
then
more
second will be
success and more
Ed
podiums
Mosley,
here
obviously.
than any other driver in Ireland. Look at that, absolute beautiful there from James Deane. He just
He made it
touches
look
the
so
bumper off
fucking
the wall
easy,
in
man.
almost both
It's unfair.
spots.
Unfair
And,
how good
for me,
it
a
is.
few
How good
mistakes
he is.
creeping in. I hate to say it,
Yeah.
but there were some mistakes.
It's a
crept in there
99,
for
bro.
James Deane, so I think
That's
gonna
a
be the
full
score.
100.
It just hurt a little bit, ever so slightly.
If
but
he does,
nevertheless, a very
let's
good score indeed, and it will
go!
be a
He didn't beat my favorite
91.5
driver.
for James Deane, drops
Sorry,
into second
James.
position
I'm
at the
Team
moment,
Peter.
and we're already seeing 10 drivers
Let's
now.
go.
Yeah, 10 drivers with a 90 points score on the board.
Yeah, it's
Peter
definitely
is still the
Finland all over
king.
again.
Yeah, we
And
certainly are getting the finish.
the finish effect.
The finish effect.
There
Yeah,
it is,
there we
yeah.
go.
All right,
Yeah,
now
we're
we
back on the line. Oliver
next up,
Randalu still
Oliver
sitting in that
Randalu,
championship
Spain
contention.
winner.
The second place at the moment, the man from Estonia, M50 Turbo, underneath the bonnet, 900 horsepower for this BMW E46 as he slams through the gears.
Come on, Oliver.
Randalu said he's
Get back on the
feeling
podium.
good, looking confident. Can he make it work right now? It looks very nice so far as he locks up that front brake. which is the
Very
back end of
shallow,
BMW
but
to
very
get to
good.
circuit
The
now,
momentum
makes
is
his way
there.
into
It's just
the
that
outside
angles
turn.
are
Very
shallow.
nice line there, a little
I don't know how the
different to most
judges are
other
gonna
drivers,
judge
but
this
makes it
one.
work As Randalu looks out the side window, flicks that car to big angle.
Oh.
Almost overcompensated there a little bit. Goes a wheel over the edge of the circuit, but keeps it clean for the rest of the run.
Yeah.
What's really cool
That's
about his car and the way he's got it set up
87,
is how it
I would
catches.
say.
Yeah.
So he gets into a zone,
87
gets on throttle,
or
and
88.
immediately gets stable. Whereas some cars, they get on throttle and it kind of moves around a little bit. But with Randalu, it doesn't do that. He gets on throttle, the car's right where he wants it to be, and he's able to kind of push through the rest of that zone. So looks good coming over the hill, a little bit tight on that. But right there, that's what I mean. He was about to go off track. And a lot of other
He
cars,
saved it.
given that same scenario, they would get on throttle and the car might actually move back a little bit. His is immediately locked in. It's like it's on rails as soon as he wants it to be. So it really just comes down to timing for him. And a little bit hairy there through that
What up?
section.
I'm not
And
know how
that
to
was
spell
kind of
your
it.
name,
Maybe-
Papa. What
maybe
up?
on the
What
inside
up?
clip, just a bit tight. And then through here, the car doesn't, I mean, I wouldn't even say the car, it's just his timing on it is not quite where he wants it to be. But when he does get on throttle, it locks back in, able to get through the rest of the zone. So shouts out to his team for setting it up that way.
Oh, yeah.
They did such a good job.
Exactly that. And the problem is that now a lot of marbles forming on the outside edge of that zone. So as soon as you drop a wheel in there, you kind of lose.
An 82.5
82.5 from the man from Estonia. As Oliver Randalu.
A lot of correction. Oh,
championship points leader.
Conor.
Conor Shanahan, GT,
he was not happy in New Jersey. I couldn't even say hi to him because how pissed off he was.
Known for having some relentless chases.
Let's go. Come on, come on.
This circuit. And now puts that car to work as he slams it through the gears. Shanahan puts it right where it needs to be. This is beautiful from Shanahan. Look at this.
Yes.
Goes right to the edge of the circuit. Nice and early. Oh, and he's on throttle even earlier than anyone else. Look at this. As the smoke erupts from the back of this Toyota GT86. That's who Jay-Z's singing. 1,000 horsepower out from underneath the bonnet as he puts the car right to the edge of the circuit. Wheel on the line, across the line.
Let's go.
Wow.
Now, I don't know if it's going to be a 99. I'm hoping not.
I mean, there's the spotter right there.
My favorite driver at the top.
Man. That was
Come
absolutely epic from Conor Shanahan. The amount of angle he's getting out of this car while keeping the speed and keeping the line is just unlike anything else. Look at this. 90 degrees through that section, almost goes completely off track, almost bins it right there. If he would have touched into the grass, that was it. It could have been weekend over for Conor Shanahan, but not phased at all. He's initiating as he's changing gears on that first one, and then changing gears through the run, doesn't miss a beat, couldn't tell at any part of it. Man, what a spectacle we just got to see here, Ireland. Holy cow, Conor Shanahan just absolutely
Do you
epic.
see how little his steering is moving?
Moving around.
All of that is because of the fucking computer.
Oh, just look at the angle.
Bro.
Makes no sense. Absolutely beautiful from Conor Shanahan, and just goes to show you why he was the 2023 champion and why he's back. You know, he's got that form back again. He's looking strong, and Shanahan said that there's no
if you look at old cockpit videos of drivers back in the day, and you look at the drivers now in the cockpit, it's completely different.
Look at that. Absolutely
the old drivers are like,
and rear wheel in that zone.
Of all
and then the new guys are like,
a solid run. Conor Shanahan
all because of the computer.
Angle, 80.3.
They can adjust to how much.
91 dead on the board for Conor Shanahan.
Oh yes, let's go.
At the moment, Judge's not liking it as much.
That was good.
As, me and Jacob.
But my driver is still at the top.
Yeah. You know,
even the judges are glazing my driver.
Gold buzzer moment, me and Dave used to say. I think that gold buzzer's back.
They gave him a 99. Ain't nobody catching to that 99. I hope not.
That white line. You can't be doing that. You know, if you watch Peter's run back, it was, you know, wheels perfectly.
Let's go. Look at that name.
Looks at the moment.
Peter at the top, bro.
From Poland, 99.
Stop playing with my favorite driver's name.
From Poland, a 96 dead.
We got James Deane, we got Conor, we got Lauri Heinonen. I don't care, bro.
Rookie from 2024, 5th place at the moment for 92.5.
That's what Peter used to do in his S15. Like every time you will have to go up against Peter because every time with his S15 and 99 and 99 and 99 and 99. He gets into the Supra. He starts to mess up. Oh, Peter is not good anymore. He's not a better driver no more.
No, there we go. Look at that. 20th place at the moment. Simen Olsen with an 83. U-Hart Rintanen in the mix there with an 86. Chris Brady, a wildcard driver, also in the mix there. We get now down to the lower end. Ryan Hughes from Great Britain in the mix as well, as we start to see the usual contenders find their way in.
That's it? That's all the qualifying?
Look like they qualified and bar Amanda Sorensen.
Did I miss something?
There we go. The guys that are out at the moment. 33rd place, Diogo Correa.
Qualifying round 4. Oh no, we still have a ways to go.
Shanahan, Fionn Roche, Itay, and Christopherou all out on a 0. Crazy.
Why is this round 4? What happened to the other round?
Some of these drivers here.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Other rounds are probably in the Red Bull channel.
Start to creep in as we now no rest, straight back into it. If you thought you were going to have a breather,
who's this? New driver?
Get another refreshment. Sit on the
Thomas.
edge of your sofa because that's all you're
I don't know you, Thomas, but we're about to. Let me know you.
Now start to put.
Show me something crazy.
Tomas Kiely knows the track is full dry. It's an 88 on his first qualifying run. What can he do? He comes off the line to JT.
Come on, Thomas.
This at 180 SX as he screams. Look at that, slots a gear and puts a big clutch kick in as he fires that car through. Wow!
Yes,
that is
now
incredible from
there we go.
He's absolutely dialed. Tomas Kiely
Okay,
puts
Thomas.
the car into the outside zone. Is screaming through as he hammers the throttle through the floor as far as it'll go. As he now puts the back end of that car towards the wall. Looks for the rear wheel to the white line, back bumper on the wall.
Oh my God!
As Tomas Kiely stands on the foot brake across the line.
Yeah.
There it is. I was waiting for somebody about
Someone was going to do it.
It was going to happen.
That was his debut. Was that his debut? It's the first time seeing him.
Why not just throw it? Why not have a good time? And this to me is like a party run. This is the run that you.
He felt good. I bet everything in that cockpit felt awesome.
Tomas Kiely having fun, enjoying the run.
He
and
looks
just
young as
showing
hell.
why
How
this
old? I didn't
track
even
is
pay
such a
attention
cool
to his
track,
age.
Why it's so dynamic. Look at the work he's doing in the car.
I wouldn't be
Getting around,
surprised
filling
if
the
he's
zones,
18
tons
as
of
well.
smoke, big wing on the car, 360. What else could you want in a lap? Man.
Fireworks.
Can we? Is that something? Who do I call?
If it comes to the PG Narodowy in Poland for the Red Bull Drift Masters final, I've been told there's going to be everything from lights, fireworks, the whole lot.
I think I'll be there.
Yeah,
I believe I'll be there.
There's even going to be a crazy halftime show that we was told about.
Oh, all right.
If you haven't got your tickets, get online now. Head over to dm.gp. Grab your tickets for the final at the PG Narodowy in Warsaw.
Oh,
look at that!
Taking the camera down.
Took the camera down, and I think he snapped the camera pole on his own car as well.
I'm a little scared
shot,
because
absolutely beautiful.
I don't think it's a 99 run, but these judges get a little weird sometimes.
That's a driver that's having fun, and you can feel it
Come
from the
on,
outside.
it's not.
When somebody is driving
It's
like
not.
that, you can tell that when they're angry, you can tell when they're happy.
Just give him a 90.
I want to see where he
Please.
drops in though. What did the judges think of it? Because
So,
for me and you, from our point of
that
view,
was
and
very
from probably
perfect.
everyone
There
here
was
and
no,
everyone sitting at
like,
home, it was an incredible
messing
run.
up at
Where
all.
did it drop him in? And there we go. A 94
Oh my God, that was
on
so
the
close.
board for Tomas Kiely.
That was so close.
Wildcard driver for this weekend jumps himself way up the order. And into the show, we go back on the start line. It's going to be Chris Brady and this incredible carbon Kevlar S15.
All right, Brady.
80.5 on his first.
Sounds like a Hollywood name.
Place at the moment. What can he do to improve as he now stands on the throttle?
What's that, the
through the gears,
S15
goes
chassis?
Brady, nothing to lose
S15.
for this Irishman as he puts in a
Oh,
nice initiation. Little
that,
settles for Brady.
yeah, it looked so tight. That initiation looked very.
In his second qualifying run, maybe just
The
wants to move
momentum is
himself
there,
up
though.
the
He's
order,
moving
and Brady
quick.
now works his way around the outside zone, looks for the transition, flicks that car to angles. He flicks it now towards the wall. Tentative though from Brady on the handbrake as he now opens up the throttle once again. Looks for that final outside zone across the line.
I love how loose he's got this car set up.
I don't know how the judges feel about that N3, but the whole run was pretty good.
You feel and see that body roll coming over, but for some drivers, they love driving cars like this. It can give you the ability to do some really unique things when you get that much weight transfer on the car. Look at the wheel tucking as he comes to that compression zone into our second outside zone. Oh man, so much fun for Chris Brady, who's he's got the car. This is a kind of a classic qualifying setup. Get the car loose, get it floating around, have a ton of fun. You can see how much weight transfer front to back, side to side. It's like they broke the knob off on.
I can't wait to drive Ireland.
So
we might do like a late night stream because I'll be going to work after this. But
make the car easier to drive. Put on a show.
when I come back, we're gonna be doing some
fair amount of grip
VDC
in the car,
Ireland runs.
84.5 on his second qualifying score. So
84.
It does improve ever so slightly.
Brady, that's not bad.
By the looks of things, will be in the show for tomorrow as we go back to the start line to Ryan Hughes, the man from.
Alrighty. Oh, no livery. That's the first. Okay.
Camera slams the door closed.
Full clean car.
Ryan Hughes lights up the tires. On this Toyota GT.
Look how insanely close they are to the wheel, bro.
Big clutch kick from Ryan Hughes.
That's just the wheels like literally near the chest.
Line so far from Ryan Hughes. Those first qualifying jitters out of the way. Those nerves settled off now as he knows he's got a score on the board. Could he qualify here? His first ever time at Drift Masters.
The momentum is good. He's got the speed.
Looks for the wall.
The lines are good too. Not perfect, but good.
Sacrifice a little line in the outside zone, but now Hughes goes for that final zone and across the line.
Yeah, stepped up on this one for sure, and it'd be interesting to
That's
see.
That's definitely a qualifying run.
If it's going to be.
Now, I'm not sure about the points. I would give him an 88 to an 89 because of the momentum. He was going in quick. It's not easy to keep the car on the lines when you're moving that fast.
Really good driver sitting at zeros too. I mean, this could be spicy. I mean, a 78.5. In a lot of times, you can relax on that. I really don't think that's the case right now.
No, I don't think you can come out for your second qualifying run this weekend now. I think Becky said it earlier, it's very unpredictable.
Right.
You know, I mean, we could get rain any moment. I think you've got to come out, take the opportunity. If the track's dry, go for it. Try and bang that 90 to 100 point run, you know, out and secure a spot for tomorrow's show.
Yeah.
You can't come out here at half throttle.
Yeah, and really, Ryan Hughes, I mean...
Oh, come on.
It's going to be close.
See what I say? These judges get a little weird, bro. That was good.
That's for sure. Moving along the order to Kevin Quinn now.
I would have given him like at least an 80 something, like an 86.
At the moment, 71 dead on the board, so Kevin Quinn needs to jump himself up the order. That we see that mistake going into outside zone
Like
6.
one of the main things in qualifying, you really want the judges to notice you, so you really gotta go crazy.
Big clutch kick across the circuit, keeping it within the constraints. So now fires through. Very nice line, a lot tidier than it was on the first one. A little wobble, but deals with it as Kevin Quinn on the handbrake for a long time, slows that car down, sacrifices that line on the throttle once again. Big clutch kick from Kevin Quinn as he puts the car right to the edge of the
If they
circuit,
gave the
flicks
other
that towards the
driver
wall as
a
Quinn
75
now on the throttle nice and
or a
early. Big
71,
clutch
if
kick
I
once again,
remember,
trying to come up that hill
because
across the finish line from the
if you get a
Northern Irishman.
70, as you see right there, you're out
but you
of
can
the.
feel a little bit of hesitation with it, where he's maybe not trusting either himself or the car a little bit, where we needed a little bit more commitment. I don't know if he spooked himself on initiation, because it looked really good off the bat. He looked fast. He looked very committed throughout this section. Gets on throttle, starts to push that
but
car
nice
and
he was
wide,
adjusting and slowing down, and he was just
quite sure what
he wasn't smooth with it.
Out that maybe he was going to make another mistake, but getting a little bit shallow through this zone, back on throttle, and then adds that extra bit of angle. And
you can definitely tell which drivers are comfortable on this
means,
track and which drivers are
as we start
not.
to see the scores increase, you need to be on it. You have to be on it. Your line score has to be almost perfect at 50 or above at least to really get through this. Making up for it in a lot of ways with the angle and the style, but line holds such an important factor and so much weight on this track.
It certainly does, and we're already breaching the 70s on the cutoff point, so I think the way things are going to improve and the way the scores are going to jump up now, especially as looks like we could get a full dry circuit for the rest of qualifying. 77.5, he does move himself up the order.
Oh, he made it. He qualified. Okay, that's good.
Looks to try and keep himself in the show tomorrow. We go back on the line. Amanda Sorensen from America, Toyota GT86. Family affair this weekend.
No way!
Brandon and Cameron with her this weekend, supporting her along, and she's got...
What the fuck is she doing at Drift Masters? What the? The Sorensen's family are awesome, but that is so weird. The sister decided to go to Drift Masters, huh? Does that mean the whole family is there to support her?
Brand new car, a new power plant, new tires, a new country, a new whole style of drifting.
A whole new different car. She's usually driving BMWs all day.
The first qualifying run,
Holy shit!
Big clutch kick, dials herself into this outside zone. That's beautiful from Amanda Sorensen. It's absolutely.
She has my respect.
Stays right to the edge of the track.
Never mess with Amanda Sorensen's name ever again.
This outside zone, drops a wheel on the edge of the track.
Her first time on the track. Obviously, she took practice runs, but.
Yeah, really going
to go that fast and still be so brand new to the track is insane.
Right now, having to represent, having to hold it down for.
Oh my God, respect, respect, Amanda. I'm never gonna clown you ever again.
Really going for it, coming out through that line.
That's
tons
insane.
of angle, and you can see her just working that car. And this is somebody once again who did she drop her visor mid-run there too. This outside zone looked really good, and then starts to push just a bit wide, and I think maybe losing.
She's qualifying. That's a qualifier run, definitely.
This transition, things look good. Having to re-grip the wheel and then back around, and it's a lot of it is just knowing.
I didn't even know. I follow her and everything. I didn't even realize she was coming to Drift Masters.
Where it is because of how much you drive a different car.
That's crazy.
But really
I gotta check out her page.
Has a couple
Watch
of
the whole line.
able to push through it, able to make the corrections without zeroing out.
I know the little brother's definitely here.
And look at the speed and commitment coming through there, and just not able to get quite the angle that last outside zone. And then
it's qualifying.
I thought it was going into the wall at this point.
They're gonna let her qualify. Trust me.
Nice and tidy through
the speed she was going.
It's going to be a 69 dead, same score again. Unfortunately, we're going to lose Amanda Sorensen in qualifying. Didn't manage to improve on the score. And I'm looking at the monitor
at least
right now,
that was her first time, and she didn't mess up or go off the rail. So. Still, my respect all the way.
So now
that's insane.
73.5, and whoever advances on that will push Lauri Heinonen out of qualifying. So we will have to do it all on the second qualifying run. Daigo Saito
Drifting legend. Let's go, Daigo.
In this incredible mark.
The drifting legend is here.
From left to right. 20-inch wheels spinning as he puts that car to angle. Wow, that was beautiful from Saito as he now works his way around, puts it back on angle again. He's going to get it. That was such a snappy, fast transition from Saito as he now opens up the throttle once again. You can
I forgot Drift Games said he was competing this year,
as he puts the back end
and I forgot.
Right towards the wall on the foot brake.
Let's
as
go.
He finishes the run. That was beautiful from Saito.
Oh my God, the legend.
I mean, really, really far back with his first score, knowing that he's got to throw it in, but doesn't sacrifice anything. Doesn't
the drifting legend is here.
Or commitment, if anything, just doubles down on it. I thought he was going off track here. I thought he was going off track on outside zone 4, but it looks like he's like threading a needle.
If they give him a 99, I'm not even going to be mad. He's a drifting legend. If he beats my favorite driver, it's fine.
This section, but so much speed. I don't know how we scrubbed it.
The fact that he's even driving is amazing enough as it is.
Yeah. Giant wheels, not a ton of sidewall. That car does not want to bite sideways, but adjusts his timing, adjusts his throttle commitment to get the car.
Oh my
to not shoot
God,
off
he
track.
was he makes it look like
the drivers would have been into
I think he's driven for Drift Masters before. I'm not sure if this is his first time or
Daigo Saito, because
back then he was doing the
cool to see a legend
D1,
like this over
FD,
here.
KP. I mean, he was moving around the world, so I don't think this is his first time on the track.
An iconic name in drifting, working his way around Mondello
Bro,
Park
he's a
here in Ireland,
fucking
in
beast,
such a
bro.
iconic car as well.
Iconic,
Beautiful
the
to see,
car,
as we see
the
some
everything.
beautiful slow-mo shots. Now he needs a
forgot that he was driving.
at the moment to improve on that score. What could he do? And he does. He jumps up. It's going to be an 88 for Saito.
That was a fucking 80.
Safe in competition at the moment. 16th position from the man from Japan. We might see him tomorrow in competition. We'll see how scores improve. I'm
telling you, bro, these judges are weird sometimes. But then again, I'm a fan, so as a driver's, you can't be favorites. There's no favorites, I guess.
It all comes down to this.
Yeah, through the gears he goes. You can hear him pedaling that car.
That car sounded like it was about to die before it even, yeah.
Works his way around, locks up the front brake, now goes for the outside zone, picks it up nicely as Hynes puts it back in where it needs to be, opens up the throttle. You can see him
that
on
was
the foot
insane.
brake once again,
I can't believe he got 88 from that insane flick and run, but okay. Anyway, my favorite driver still at the top. I'm happy.
Hynes opens up the throttle once again, flicks the spoiler over the wall, looks for that outside zone, and job done.
When we talk about technical drivers, Alan Hynes is one of the most technical drivers in the world. The way that he's able to do things in sim and how that able to translate to his everyday driving is wild.
Yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt you there, but I just want to make an announcement.
Okay.
Alan Hynes is on the drop zone.
Yeah.
Which means that Lauri Heinonen is out of qualifying at the moment. He has to get it done on his second qualifying run. Heinonen out of qualifying, Hynes on the drop zone.
Man, Ireland always delivers. Always delivers, but yeah.
Support for Hynes all the way. I've been supporting his sim Germany.
Pushing drivers like
taught me a couple of stuff on the sim.
Even further. I mean, I want to know how many laps.
I can't believe I forgot his name there for a second. I was like, Hynes. And I was like, oh yeah.
What you were saying. He's on the side of the car.
The green livery definitely made me remember who.
An absolute advocate for that. Yeah. You know, online drifting, big following with drifting, and been part of that championship for many, many years. What can he do on his second run? 79.5 is going to be a nervous wait for Alan Hynes.
Okay, still qualified. That's good.
Cutoff threshold just keeps bumping up higher and higher. Yeah. It's going to be into the 80s pretty soon, and it is going to be very difficult to supersede that.
It certainly is. When we go back on the start line, Simon Olsen now.
Simon Olsen?
We'll see what he can do. First run.
All the FD drivers are coming to Drift Masters. Let's go, Simon!
Want to improve as the laser focus.
Obviously, he's from here, so it's different for him, but let's go!
Carbon Kevlar S14.9 in. Looks to balance it across the circuit. Nice line, nice and early. Look at that, the way he picks up the throttle. This is good from Simon Olsen at the moment.
Let's go! If I see Odie Bachi next run, I'm losing my fucking mind.
From Simon Olsen. Nearly no break in there as he goes into that last outside zone across the line.
He looks so good in this car. Yeah, I know I sound like a broken record.
If I see Odie Bachi next run, I'm losing it.
That James lends him this car.
Where's Frederick Osbo? This is Frederick Osbo's homeland too, so I don't understand why Frederick doesn't do. I mean, it's exhausting to keep flying from the US back here, the US. It gets exhausting, but and also money and everything.
When you're in a vehicle that you don't know that well, there's a tendency.
But come on, Amanda Sorensen, Simon Olsen, James Deane, Conor, Jack Shanahan, they're all doing the back and forth over the countries. Even though we're going through this whole war shit right now, but
and I'm wondering if he's rethinking his car.
I hope Frederick was able to make it too.
Not only that, but you got the whole brains and science of Deane M Sport and James Deane building that car from the ground up. So the whole setup, the whole build, everything.
So we got 5 FD drivers that are competing in Drift Masters right now. I think 5 or 4.
Driven and set up is going to be perfect. There we go. And
89, 15.
for Simon Olsen.
Not the best, but
And he jumps himself up to 15th
He qualifies
position at the moment. A nice
as
improvement
long
there
as
for
no
Simon
one
Olsen, but
pushes
that
him
car,
down
it's
to
gonna be
not
perfect.
qualify.
Simon Olsen is just the perfect person
Who's
to put
this?
into it.
Agreed.
There we
Couldn't
go.
agree more.
Harry
Back on the line we go.
Kerr?
It's going to be Harry
How-
Kerr.
Kerr.
Harry
Okay.
Kerr, 89.5 on his first qualifying run. Comes through the gears. He said he had the lowest
Harry
horsepower car on the grid, but
Potter.
that didn't disturb him earlier as he puts
Had to do
himself
it.
in the 13th
Hey.
place. What can he do now? He's feeling confident. That was a huge initiation.
Whoa,
Harry
okay,
Kerr goes
Harry.
right to the edge of the circuit, flaming erupts from the
Some
side
of that
of the cars. He
magic
gets on the
sizzle.
throttle nice and early once again as Harry Kerr, the
I'm telling you, the BMW chassis are just unfair, bro. They're so light. They handle so well. Dylan Hughes and FD told me usually the car's doing all the work
Oh man,
because it's just the chassis is
such a
insane.
good representation that horsepower is not everything.
Yeah.
It is how you drive the car. It's how you set up the car. You're
All right,
everything from
Harry.
your tire selection to the way that the car is tuned. Harry Kerr just shows that he's punching. He's driving this car like it has twice the horsepower. He's got so much speed throughout this entire
Right now,
thing.
the judges are weird with their judging,
It's
so I don't
melded
even know.
together in a way that allows
Oh,
him
no,
to
it looks
get
like it's
through the
gonna
run
start
with
raining.
the style and commitment and fluidity.
Hopefully,
You could not
the
tell that this car
qualifying
was
can be
built
over
for
with before
maybe
it starts
a series
raining.
Under this.
Yeah.
It does not look
Because
that
I
way.
would feel
He's not
bad.
driving
Imagine
that way.
everybody
He's
does
driving
good
like
on
he's
dry,
got the fastest car with the most money and the most tuning and the most
concrete, and then
technology,
you pull up and then it starts raining, and then you
nobody's
gotta
talking
work
about,
harder.
Wow.
Okay,
And look at
good.
that. Absolutely
The
blows
momentum,
doors
the
off.
lines, everything was
90.5
there.
on the ball,
That
jumps
was good.
himself into 11th position,
I
and
still
we've
don't know
reached
how
10 drivers
Daigo's
down the
run
line.
was not
Yeah, I'm
good,
not shocked.
which was
We're
weird.
at 25.
Daigo did
25
the
in
exact same
Finland.
thing,
All right, let's see if
actually
we can
better
top
with the
that.
flicking,
If we can
but
top it.
Not with
It
that
could be
attitude.
close. It could
It
be
is
close.
what it
We
is.
go back on the line, and it's going to be Timo Potola and
Diesel
the crazy
engine,
Mercedes-Benz
the
wagon.
diesel power.
Mercedes-Benz
Look at all
turbo-
that
compound turbocharged
polluting
diesel
the
engine
pollution.
on it as he puts a big clutch kick into
Diesel.
it, drives that car onto angle, stands on the foot brake now as Peltola from
There goes
Finland
the
goes right to
diesel.
the edge of the circuit.
Yeah.
Kicks some dust into the face of our photography.
He
and
wants to
cameramen
take
in
that
the
car
middle
to
of
the
circuit, but
podium so
nevertheless
bad.
makes it
He's
work
been
as he
at this
navigates
for
his
like
way
what,
around this
4,
long
5
wagon,
years
puts it
now?
towards the wall, just kisses the back
He wants
end
to take
of
that
the
car
wall
to the
as Peltola
podium.
now puts foot to floor and
Oh my
drags it
God.
across the line.
He's polluting the air while drifting.
Edging his way off track to be able to get the car to snap back around and get it to angle. So taking, it's one of those making lemonade at 11s.
I bet a lot of
Just
people meet him
going a
and be
little
like,
bit
"You're
wide, gets the
polluting
car
the
to grass, it
environment."
hooks up just that little bit and shoots the car back out to the other way. And then once you get into these other outside zones, this is a car
It's
where
like
you
a
can see
train
how much throttle
drifting.
he's using. You can
Choo,
physically see the black
choo,
smoke coming out.
choo.
Every time he's getting on throttle, you can tell the way that he's playing with the throttle and how he's trying to get the car throughout the track and when he's on throttle, when he's off, and really by the density of the smoke, how much throttle he's using throughout the run. So it's kind of neat to be able to get that much visual representation of what's going on behind the wheel. I don't think there's any other car. Maybe
If you
Lauri
show
Hynes,
a
you can
video,
feel every
this
time he gets
video
on
to
throttle.
Mercedes, they will probably
But,
shake their heads
Timo,
and grab their
sitting
face.
Not in the most advantageous place with a 79 in his first run. Is he going to be able to increase that score?
Yeah, well, I mean, look, he's 27th at the moment. Needs to creep himself up the order, as you mentioned earlier. A lot of drivers sit with a 0, a lot of drivers out, including Lauri Heinonen, as I keep alluding to, because he is the defending champion. What will we see Timo Potola's score improve to, or will it improve? And it drops in, and it isn't an improvement. He stays where he is at the moment in 27th place. It's going to be a nervous wait for the Finnish driver.
Yeah, I'm surprised he did a 79 in the first one.
Now sits in the background waiting to see
Who's
what he can
next?
do. Well, this young man was very unlucky earlier on. He got a full downpour of rain, slams the window of the car, slams his hand into his helmet and says, I need to get this done. I need to get myself
He's
into
gotta
the show.
get in
He
the
sits on a
zone.
0. What can Fion Roche do as he hammers through the gears in his 2JZ powered Toyota GT86?
Let's go,
Attempts
come on.
initiation, but nevertheless makes it work as Fion Roche now goes right to the edge
A
of the
little
circuit.
shallow there,
Full throttle.
stopped a little
Gets on the
early.
handbrake nice and early, slows it down
Slow
to the
down a
outside
little
zone,
too
makes
much
it
for the
work.
judges'
Both rear
liking
wheels
right
into
there.
that long outside zone. The drone following along for the ride as Fion Roche seems to be making it work at the moment. Now back on the
I don't
pole
know.
once again as Roche looks for the end of the wall, looks for the final
I
zone.
don't
and
think
across the line.
that's a
There's no way you
qualifier
would
run
know
at all,
He was sitting on
in my
a 0
opinion.
ahead of time.
Obviously, the judges
The
might
run
think
looked
differently.
really good. A lot of drivers would be far
Is that
more
Mama
hesitant,
right
but when
there?
it's your-
I
when
thought that
you
was
zero
his
on your
mom.
first one, and you know what kind of score is on the board for your second run. That's just going to get you into the store. Not even into a top spot.
She's
but
wearing
you already
the
know how
team
far
shirt.
you have to fight just to get back into the show. Which right now is what, 74.5.
Yeah.
Fionn does a great job. He's got a lot of speed in the car. He might not have gone full depth into a lot of these zones, but the big zones, the zones that really carry a lot, he does a really, really good job with. And it's tough. It's such a mental battle to go through.
Yeah.
Having that rain, not feeling like it's your fault, but knowing that at the end of the day, it's still what you're responsible for. and then having to get back out there and go, okay, now it's completely dry. I have to forget about what just happened. I have to forget what kind of score I need. I just need to get out there and drive.
I think that's the biggest mental game for a lot of these drivers, is the reset.
Yeah.
You know, you have a poor first run, you have a score of 0, or you spin, or you have a mechanical. It's the reset to go back on the line and say, this is the first run.
Yeah, this is
you
it.
know, this is the run. I just put a score on the board and we go from there. You know, and I think that was how Fionn Roche come out here this weekend with that mindset on this second qualifying run. It was, you know what, make it around. Yeah, there was a few adjustments to steer into handbrake, but look, he done what he needed to do. He put a score on the board. Will it light the scoreboard alight? Let's hope so. And it's an 81.5 for Fionn Roche. And he does get himself
It makes it,
a spot in
but
the top 32 at the moment.
at the moment,
it's going to be a nervous one for this one.
No, Dave made it.
Supra GR, the carbon Kevlar.
Dave made it. Let's go.
It comes off the
I thought he wasn't gonna make it because how banged up he made. He hit the car in Finland. Let's go, Dave.
He puts that car right where it needs to be. It's a nice line so far from Egan. Wide. Takes the cones down but stays in it.
Dave is just having fun.
Outside zone just drops.
He's just out there having fun, having a blast.
Outside zone, but he's making it work right now.
Doesn't claim he doesn't want to be the best. He just want to have fun.
Keeps 3 wheels on the circuit. It's scrappy, but is it enough for Egan to
Let's
get himself in the
go.
show?
He's trying to fight for it so much, and
He's pushing 110%.
he's just going for it. He just
He's
knows,
gonna say some fun
gotta
shit
hug
on
it.
the
I really
camera.
gotta go with as much speed, as much of everything we can put into the car as possible. You can see
That
how
was
much
good
speed is going on
initiation
there.
run though.
Just
That
doesn't
one
get the car.
place, I don't
Doesn't
like
add
that
enough
one
angle
part
at
of the
right
track.
time to be able to make it out
They
to
gotta
that
fix
zone.
that for
Really
next
through here,
next year.
Need to add even more angle, and isn't able to. Pushes him just into the wrong spot, but doesn't give up. I mean, never give up. That is the motto of that entire
I can't
team.
believe that car made
All the way
it. He
through this
banged
run,
it up pretty well in
keeps on
Finland.
it, no matter what else is going on, and it is so commendable from Dave Egan, who's just not sitting in a great spot right now.
No, you know, this team haven't had it easy this
Dave
weekend.
is just
either.
over there
Dave
having
taking
fun.
That car, you know, off track yesterday in practice, and then today.
Who knows? He probably might not even be doing this next year because of how expensive it is.
Worked tirelessly to make sure that Dave can get out for
Very
qualifying,
expensive
which
to
you
do.
know hasn't
Drift
happened. Oh, and
Masters.
it's another 0,
Yep.
and the judges are telling me in my headset that it's 3 wheels off
Yep.
for Dave Egan.
DB'd.
Outside zone 3. Unfortunately, that will be the end of the weekend for Dave in his rookie year, and it's just not playing into the hands of the
Man,
Irishman.
it sucks.
We're back onto
Everybody
the line
loves
to
Dave.
another Irishman that's had no luck whatsoever in 2025.
Dean McCarthy.
Is, of course, Dwayne McKeever.
Oh shit,
Switching it
Dwayne
up to a different
McKeever. I
car
didn't
this
see the name
weekend.
right. My
Again,
bad, Dwayne.
in the strong wheel,
Another
S15,
beast.
he comes off the line.
Another
slams
person who
through the
doesn't
gears.
let off the throttle.
McKeever looking for redemption, slips off the gear stick there, and it's going to be an awkward initiation, but he makes it work. The car didn't react.
What
And
happened?
it understeers for McKeever.
Oh yeah, that's not his qualifying car, by the way.
You looked across at me.
What happened to his car?
I was in the zone.
I went to Jefferson for bariatric surgery.
Oh man, this is one thing about Lauri Heinonen and Dwayne McKeever. They blow their engines all the time because they'd be full on the throttle.
Off the gear stick.
And that's all it is sometimes. It's just that one little moment.
And that could have thrown his mindset. Watch this. Look, slams the car into gear, comes off the line. Watch as he goes through the gears down. Ready? Not this one.
And he's
this
He
one's
hits
good.
that one?
This one. Watch this.
That one.
You see that he's grabbing it kind of
And
overhead.
goes for another gear, then goes for another
And
gear.
he has to
goes for another
clutch.
gear, and it's too late. And I think that misshift
Yeah, that car is
may have
not
broke the gearbox.
properly made
Yeah,
for
and he shakes
comp.
his head. I know that
One thing about
manufacturer,
competition
that brand
cars,
of
you don't
gearbox, if
when
you're
you
not super
hit
direct
the
with shift,
sequential,
can
you
break
don't
the
have to
gearbox
worry
so
about
easy with a
clutching.
misshift. And you may say, Ian, how do you misshift?
But when
a
you
sequential
start
gearbox?
clutching
Well,
and
you can do it
hitting
like
it,
that.
if you
One
miss a
slight mistake,
gear
the slip
or the
off
gear
stick
goes wrong,
might have been the
it's over.
not fully engaging it as he pulled the gear stick.
That's why they
I
usually
think
don't do their
McKeever's broken
clutch
the
when they
gearbox.
use
Will be a
sequential.
0 on his second qualifying run. We'll get that clarified.
Yeah.
I'm jumping to assumptions.
it's all good.
But you
It's-
know,
hey,
technical background over here.
You've built a few drift cars in your
Just a couple.
Yeah.
Too many.
At least one.
Well, here we go.
That's
Go back on the line to Yves
just
Meyer,
upsetting.
the man from Switzerland in this
Another
beautiful
Supra build.
GR Supra. Lights up the tyres as he comes off the line. Yves Meyer with 75.5. He at the moment sits in 31st place. Needs to improve.
Oh no,
Fix
if
that
you don't do
counter
good in
angle.
this one,
He said
he's
to me
not
earlier
making
on
it.
in an interview that he wanted a 91. No
Oh,
less. Well,
that part,
wheels over the edge of the
keep
track.
saying
I'm
it,
gonna
that
get
part
you
of the
a
track is
91.
not
I'm
good.
sure of it, but we'll see. I'm not the judge of that as he fires through.
They gotta
Puts
stop
the car
putting
right
money
to edge
towards
of
the
circuit.
tracks
Yves
when it
Meyer doing
comes
a
to
nice
this
tiny job
sometimes.
This time on his second qualifying run, foot to floor, stands on the foot brake, pushes the back of that Supra where it needs to be.
You always wonder how much each driver knows. And I know some of them want to know, where am I? What do I need to do? How do I need to drive? And some drivers are, don't tell me anything. Just let me run my race. But Yves Meyer here sitting very, very close to the bubble, to 75.5, not getting out to all the zones the way he needs to, just overshooting a little bit. And we're seeing this with a lot of drivers where if you are not fully committed coming around that inside clip, if you need to pull angle out so you don't take that first inside clip too close.
Or don't understeer. If you do that, you may push wide into our second outside zone, and it is not a good time.
We know what we're talking about, don't we?
I mean, we're watching it over and over again.
Run after run after run.
We've seen a lot of drifting, and it's tough, though. That first inside clip can make all the difference.
Yeah, the initiation here at Mondello Park, you know, you spoke about it earlier on. When you're coming up that run up, you can't see inside zone 2. All you can see is the roof of that covered grandstand where our cameraman is. So you don't have a reference point. You initiate onto the rumble strips, or as close as possible, and then as you go over the crest of that hill, you see that inside zone. So if you've mistimed the clutch kick, the feint initiation, or you've mistimed the handbrake dab to slow the car down, or you've not dialed on enough angle, it's all over.
It's the only reason why I don't like roof cam drivers on the sim. When they do competition driving and there's people using this roof cam and third person, it's like,
years ago when I first come to Ireland, I said, how
you
do
know,
you do it? And
that's why I feel like in the sim they should separate it. If it's gonna be like money and a lot of things involved, it has to be realistic. I'm sorry.
Number 9,
because we can have like third people with controllers and they can do the third person camera. But for people with full rigs and stuff, you know, just take it a little bit more seriously, because it's not easy to know exactly where to place the car at times.
Lot of pressure
Van
here. Dutch driver.
Hopefully I pronounced that right.
Yeah.
Those tire pressures look really low.
They do look really low, and he's turned it up, and now as he slams through the gears inside the car, you can see how focused Clint Van Oort is. The man from the Netherlands fires that car to angle, picks up the front wheel, puts it to the edge of the circuit, just about keeps the wheels on the tarmac.
And then it starts, the stream starts lagging.
As he locks up the front wheel, balances that car right to the edge of the circuit, flicks it towards the wall, a little nervous, but makes it work as he lets the car wash right to the edge of the zone, and now across to the final outside zone.
Nice.
Yeah, you went all or nothing on this.
That was pretty good.
This might be a driver that was told where he's sitting in position. When we got that close,
you don't see a lot of people rocking the color yellow. Not that anything's wrong with yellow. Yellow is usually a color that you make a livery that's like grayish or black, and then you add yellow stripes or yellow lines on the side. Like a full-on yellow car is just something you don't normally see.
Almost a bit of a panic moment.
Because the color is just so bright. It's either gold or goldish brown is what people usually.
Some of this is just to find a bit more grip in the car. Some of it is to keep the tire
fiberglass.
A lot going on with the clutch kick.
Yellowish green. I forgot what they call it when it's like lime. Is it
just
like a limeish?
The best
yellow?
line through that, and using every implementation. They a lot of the times these drivers look like drummers in the cockpit. Both feet, both hands.
Yeah, his run was
flying around trying
They're
to
a
find
one-man band.
They really
or
are.
a one-woman band.
Yeah, I mean, put a harmonica in their helmet, make a beautiful song.
I don't, some of them aren't that creative, I don't think.
You don't think so?
Nah. I would like to hear some of the songs they've got to come out with. That's
we need more karaoke as well.
We need more Drift Masters karaoke. Here we go. Score drops in an 81.5. It does jump himself
that was pretty
up the
good.
order. Does Clint Van Oort. And still,
the thing about qualifying in the bottom is very scary, because if other two to three drivers qualify better points than you, that kicks you out.
Starting to feel the groove. If you're in the groove, you're in the right zone. What are we going to see? Well, Becky's down there. Becky, how's it going?
Well, guys, a relieved Clint Van Oort. It's been a weekend for you so far. Can you tell us what's going through your mind? You've just managed to post a better score on the board, which has jumped you up the order, which hopefully is going to get you into our top 32 this weekend.
I hope so. We can stay in the top 32, and I just can't get in the rhythm this weekend. I don't know what it is, but we need to figure it out. So fingers crossed that I stay in top 32. And let's hope we can do better tomorrow in top 32 then, and enjoy.
Okay, Clint, thank you so much, guys. Not sure if you guys heard that out there, but we're going to send it back up to you in the tower.
It is a mentality thing, honestly, when it comes to driving. If your mindset is not in the game, you're going to drive like ass.
And Clint Van Oort just told me all weekend he's just not been in the groove, just not really.
I remember getting the news from the hospital stuff when my son was sick. And I tried to get my mind off on the sim. I couldn't drive like, I was driving like shit. Definitely a mindset thing. If you're not in in a groove, you're not going to drive well.
Big clutch kick to initiation, nice angle. Look at the way he positions that car, and it's a good line
Oh
so
my
far from Cherba. Keeps it on the
God,
tarmac
that was fast.
As the Lithuanian doing triple duty this year, multiple championships.
Oh, I know this driver. He drives in Dubai. He drives all around the road, actually.
In 2025. Oh, wow, takes the GoPro off the back of the car, but flexes the carbon Kevlar. Cherba not messing around in his second qualifying
yep, that's the guy.
It's always a good time when you're knocking, you know.
Ah, he decided to go.
Right now.
Yeah.
Decided to lie.
Did they tell me don't run that layout? Maybe no one told him that it's only the one lap.
Yeah, he was like, I've got tires left, so I'm going to use them up.
Check out this angle coming through. Man, so fast coming through this section. It's hard to comprehend until you come to one of these events in person how quick these cars are and how gripped up they are and how quickly they snap to angle. And Cherba just absolutely on it.
Very,
dialed,
his transitions are super safe.
Push out to that wall. You know, one of those.
It's very controlled.
You start feeding the wheel out.
A lot of people would normally flick it or go shallow, but his is like in between of flicking and shallow.
He is just
like
a force to
he
be
like
reckoned with right
controls
now.
it
You could not
inwards
tell
and just gives it just enough
in the standings right now based on this run.
so the car can keep going fast.
For me, one of the things that you could take away from Benedictus Cherba is that he's driving harder and harder.
That was good.
90.5 on the board for his second
Core
qualifying.
position, he can relax a little bit, not too much, but a little bit. More than
here all around Europe, and you can see the way that's improving. Cherba's driving here at Driftmasters. He's improving once again. You know, he's always been a top tier driver, but I think
it's always the pronunciation when it comes to other different countries. Yep, I pronounce it right. Let's go.
Sunglasses on. Well, he might not need them for the rain clouds above, but he's going to work them anyway as he fires this car in. Big bit amount of understeer there. You can see him able to use the foot brake to lock up that front wheel. Now, Jakub Kroll, the Polish driver, gets himself into this outside zone. Looks to dial on some angle, flicks that car across the track, looks for the wall, sets himself up lovely, but on the handbrake and sacrifices a little line there as Jakub Kroll now puts the back end towards the white line and across the line.
One of the reasons
that was
why
very
this track
good and controlled.
So difficult, and I think Jakub Kroll showed a really good representation of that.
An 80 run
it's very
or a 90?
Perfect setup for this track. And if you have
between an 88 to a 90, I guess.
And you get on the throttle, and the car
he wasn't messing up or adjusting the car or
messing
up the angles
if
or
you
anything.
don't have that forward bite, you shoot out really, really wide. Maybe you have a bit more.
Yeah, look how comfortable he is on the wheel. He's just one-handing it.
Well, then you got to get the tires lit up even sooner to try and break traction because the car's slowing down that way. And Jakub Kroll here, it just looks like as he came down to go to that inside clip, didn't time it right for the way that the car is set up, and it caused him to be just shallow.
When you're that comfortable on the wheel, that's how you know you're
super shallow.
Your car is set up perfectly. Very good.
Push the car out wider, but then it makes it very difficult to get to that outside zone or get the car set up.
And you also have a lot of experience.
Outside of that one issue,
a lot of experienced drivers are
like a really
James
good
Deane,
run,
Conor, a lot of the drivers. They're very comfortable on the wheel.
You have to get yourself back into the zone of like, okay, the rest of the run I can salvage. And I think that's maybe where he was able to overcome that feeling and then start to put together a pretty good run.
Well, there we go. Score drops in. There's a slight improvement for Jakub
Yep,
Kroll.
I knew it. I said the 88, didn't I?
As you say, he moves himself up the order.
So it was either 88 or 90.
Scores that are very low. We go back on the line to Diogo Correa. 70.5 for Correa on his
Diego, is it Diego? I think it's Diego, right? Diego Correa?
This man, as I say, around with no mechanical issues.
Yeah, he's got to do better, otherwise he's not going to qualify.
His own head, but look at this from Diogo Correa. A little bit more confident on this qualifying run as he now flicks the car where it needs to be. Look at that little dab of the handbrake.
Got to qualify. Come on.
Waits to go Frol, but makes it work. As the man from Portugal now navigates his way around Mondello Park and tags the wall and upsets the line.
Just a little bit too much into the wall.
Wait, what type of bumper is he using?
Between a wall tap and a wall slap, and that was a little bit too
I don't think it was.
Oh man, he's not running carbon Kevlar. That's why.
It's a little bit too.
Mondello Park makes it work.
He's not running carbon Kevlar, is he?
Navigates his way around Mondello Park and tags the wall and upsets the line.
He's not.
Just a little bit too much into the wall. And that's the difference.
That's why you gotta run like the carbon shit, because it bends. When you hit the wall, it bends inwards, so you can keep driving.
I'm looking back at the judge's replay on the second one.
If you run the hard shit, it's gonna make you mess up.
Come into the wall, something broke or something shut down.
I think an axle went or something.
Something like that went.
What's wrong? I guess it was deeper.
Oh, man.
My reaction straight away was that he tagged the wall and
That
upset the
sucks,
car.
man. They spend so much money to be there, and then the car just fucks up in the end.
Look at how much.
the compression.
Oh,
that's
That's motorsport for you.
crazy. But he gets the car to catch. This is what we talked about. He's got a good side bite in there, and then coming through this section, lights the car up, starts to get a bit of a dig out of there, takes the left foot brake off, and then starts to push through.
It looked like he hit the wall, didn't
Tons of
it?
speed.
Watch as he barely touches the wall.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, yeah, yep,
From
he
that
tapped the
angle
wall.
there, it looks like it's a bit more of a hit, but I think whatever broke at that exact moment.
Exact moment.
I don't know if there was something that popped off at the very end there. Thought I caught a bit of a glimpse of it, but yeah, I might have to see. I mean, we have so many different camera angles here. There might be even more we're able to see.
Yeah, the line was perfect. He would have definitely qualified.
Ah, there we go. So I'm hearing it in my ears right
Let's
now.
see.
He lost transmission because it wasn't a heavy touch.
Oh, he
wasn't even
didn't
touching
touch
the
it.
wall.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
It wasn't even a touch on the wall. So he
Oh,
lost
the car just
transmission
messed
as he
up.
went to the wall. Oh, wow. So heartbreak once again for
Oh,
Diogo
man, that
Correa as he
sucks.
scores a 0 in the second qualifying run. And bows out of competition here once again at Drift Masters, and just not been the year for the Portuguese driver as he takes the helmet off, takes it off,
Let's see what he
the
has to
glasses
say.
on and prepares himself for an interview with the one and only Becky Evans. Becky, it has not been a year for Diogo Correa. He must be heartbroken once again.
It honestly hasn't, Ian. Diogo, you were flying. And then we come into the
Isn't
final
it
zone with the
Diego?
wall. Can you tell us exactly what
Or
happened
is
there
it
from
Diogo?
inside the driver's seat?
I don't know, but in the first corner car, perfect.
It's Diego, yeah.
I mean, put the car the finish corner. Probably.
Then again, the
broken,
pronunciations
gear
are
or
different
transmission, I
because
don't know why, but car don't roll
in Mexico it would be
Your
Diego.
season this year
In
hasn't
Portugal,
been
it's probably
exactly great for you. What is the
I don't
plan
know.
when you go
It's
back to the
just
drawing board for the
pronunciations
next
are weird.
round?
I don't know. It's not normal. I don't know why, but I'm strong. Not stop. Go
Yes,
the
sir.
next round.
Well, we believe
Keep
in you. We're
grinding.
looking forward to having you back at the next round of Drift Masters. Diogo, we'll see you very soon. Guys, back to you.
Oh man, that run was
Yeah, look,
sick. He
he
would have
says, "I'm
definitely
strong.
gotten like an
I'm coming
88
back."
or
And you know what? That's a
89.
man that's got fire in his belly. He's determined to do
It is
well
what
at
it
Drift
is.
Masters, and unfortunately for Diogo
Yeah, the
Correa, from Spain
flakes, the
to
driving.
Finland to here, it's just been heartbreak
Oh,
the whole way through. And yeah, look at
awesome.
this. The car just no gears, no drive, and has to shut it down. And lucky he never put himself into the wall.
Yeah, that's the tough part. I mean, if you straight it, depending on where that broke, if it would have broke, you know, a little bit further on, it
could
might
have-
have. Yeah, he might be doing front end work as well as whatever other drivetrain work.
They're
he
doing
could
a
be
poll right now in Drift.
Got it though.
uh,
that
on
feeling
the
has
chat.
got to be the worst.
That's a man that's had the toughest year at Drift Masters so far as he gets removed off the track.
Yeah, it's not in a word that you want.
No.
toughest year Drift Master.
No, it's not the way you want to go back. You know, end of the year, the reset, the rebuild of the car. You go,
Yeah.
well, we had a tough year. You want to go, had a good
underglow.
year. We go back on the start line to this young man, Kevin Piscotty, who
Oh,
pumps
man.
himself up inside the car, claps their hands together, shakes their head,
Time
grips
to
the
lock
hold of the steering
in.
wheel, slots that car into gear. He gets the thumbs up from our start line marshal, Martin. As Kevin Piscotty at the moment sits in 24th position with an 83 dead on the board.
Send
and what can
it.
Piscotty do as he flicks that car across the circuit? Look at that, absolutely flying.
Ah,
Can he hold on
misses
to it?
the
He's gonna
zone
go
right
wide,
there.
but he does manage to keep it on the track as Kevin Piscotty is coming out swinging right now. Wants to get himself higher up the order, and smoke erupts from the back of the BMW E92 as he puts it towards the wall, and on the throttle nice and early goes Piscotty, winds himself around, works himself into the groove and across the line.
You
Let's
know what? I knew that was
go.
coming. I knew that
You
360
knew there
was
was a 360 coming.
yeah, it just the way that he got through that run. If you ever want to judge style, there's two things you got to look for. If you think they're about to crash, or your arm hair starts getting raised up, there's a good chance the style score is going to be way up there, and that's what I felt on this run. Big flick out to initiation,
That was
lifting that tire through that
insane
compression zone.
run.
Almost looks like he's about to go through off track.
Okay, now
there.
we
Nope,
gotta keep fingers
back
crossed
on
it's not a
throttle, swings the
99.
car back out, and just this whole
He missed
run
that
was
one zone, so
absolutely
that
epic.
has to
Look at how
affect his
stable that
point
car is.
a little
He
bit.
adds more throttle and gets more smoke out of that car, still gets the dig out of it, and then able to push it
Fingers
nice
crossed.
and wide
Come
to our
on.
last outside. So look at the way
Not
he
a
gets that car to
99.
swing back around, all throttle, all the time. Oh man, that Kevin's got to be.
Give him
pumped.
an
I mean,
89,
the 360 is
please.
a good indicator.
Do
He's
not
having
put
a
him in the
good time,
90s,
but
man.
I'm going to be popping by his pits later on just to see how big of a smile he's able to cram onto his face.
Yeah, he's going to be very happy with that. And
Yeah.
I'm holding back a little bit of judgment here because the judges aren't as happy as what we
That's
are. you know,
fine.
they don't.
All I looked at was the style score.
Yeah, I mean,
That was it.
they're happy, but they're not that happy.
They're picky.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why we don't go to
That's
dinner
why they're
with them.
judges.
Yeah.
There we go. Look.
There we go.
86.5.
86.
You know, for me and Jacob, that probably was
He's
a
in.
much better run than maybe what the judges scored it. But the judges know what they're looking at and we don't.
And that's why they're judges and we are announcers.
Exactly that. So there we go. We go back on the start.
I love when they show the pictures, like the team and stuff. They always look so stressed out
on the curb, put the car backwards
because they gotta fix the car when the car comes back all mangled up.
Together again, just some minor cosmetic
Let's
damage.
go.
Christopherou slots that car through the gears and now flicks it to angle as Christopherou tries to get a bit of redemption, knows what he needs to score. He needs to get himself a 77.5 or more to get himself in the show, but he's down out of that zone and he's going to be bleeding points massively as Christopherou needs to get himself up onto the walls, into those outside zones.
That was
now
close.
Starts to work himself into the
He
groove,
missed that wall
trying
by
to impress the judges.
inch.
He looks for that final outside zone, just catches a wheel on it.
Almost did exactly what he did on the previous run. Just flirting with disaster, getting right to the edge of the track, almost into that runoff area through initiation, and then bit of an interesting transition that we'll get to here a little bit later on.
Let's see what the judges say. He's excited. He feels like he did good, but on a camera's perspective, the lines were very shallow.
Outside zone and then transitions out to 4. Does it really early, and he's kind of e-braking in the transition to get the car around. And really, the judges want you to, if you're going to slow it down, do it just before outside zone 4. Maybe not during that actual transition. But at this point, George just looking to get a score on the board, try and see what he's able to do to get back into the battle, because having a null up top, not a great way to come into your second run. You know, arguably the worst way to come into your second run. And just wanting to put it out there and make it into the show. Everybody wants to be in the show.
Everyone wants to be in that big show for tomorrow. The top 32, top 16.
What up, what up, what up, what up, what up?
74.5, not enough
Does that
to
say
get
Granny?
into the show. But a scoreable, nevertheless.
Or am I saying that wrong?
Sit
I
out
don't
tomorrow
know.
and watch everyone else have fun on circuit and think about what he did. Go back on the line to the Finnish driver, Jarkko Juha. So chase the JZX100, slams the door closed. This young man.
Yes, the man that's running the
88 position at
JZX.
the moment, so he knows
He's
what
about
he
to
needs
do
He would have been watching from the
insane.
sports tower, watching from behind the scenes and seeing what's
There
going
he
on. Look
goes.
at the way he flicks that car to angle. Very nice from the Finnish driver right now. Jarkko Juha works the back end at JZX100 right to the extremities of the circuit as he puts the rear wheel right to the white line, stands on the accelerator and unleashes all of the
He
power
drives
available
that
to the
chassis
two
like
JZs.
it's not
Now
long
puts
at
it
all.
back into that
That's
outside
nearly
zone,
the
back
longest
onto the
car.
line,
Well,
onto
besides
the
James
wall,
Dean's Mustang,
across the line. Job
the two
done
longest
from
cars in the
Jarkko Juha.
track.
Yeah, trying to level up throughout this entire thing.
That thing
Holds that
is
car back
too
so
damn
well
long
after
for
initiation
comfort.
and does an amazing
Man.
job of getting the timing of that so right in order to make sure he's able to fill the zones without doing anything too wild. But look at, wow, on throttle all the way through. Keep talking about that compression and just gets the car to angle and then unlocks it and shoots it back out, getting out to that outside zone and then able to fill it. Really, really stable through here. Has a small left foot brake drag through the first part of that zone and then doesn't repeat that throughout the rest of it. But man, what a great job.
That's definitely a 90 run. I'm hoping it's not a 99.
To drive at this level.
Please,
I mean, look, it's
please
a
don't let
huge
it be a
car.
99.
He knows it very well by now. It's many years in this car piloting it, but the way he can position that car and the way he can throw it around is absolutely phenomenal.
I mean, this is
I love the
qualifying,
style of
but
the car.
still.
I love the look of the car. I love the fact he's using a JZX.
You always want your favorite
in
driver or
competition.
your favorite
Yeah, it just
whatever
shows that
to
there's
win.
not really a winning recipe.
An
No, there we go,
88?
88.5.
What?
Barely an improvement. 0.5.
That was definitely a 90 run.
0.5.
yeah, he's looking for a 0.5.
The
anyway.
0.5 anyway.
Judges
There you
get
go, we go
weird,
back
bro.
on the line
They get
to this
weird
man,
every
Jason
time.
Benet, Subaru BRZ, 2JZ underneath the bonnet. The Frenchman come out
Jason
swinging his first
Bennett.
qualifiers.
Hey, I just can't wait to see him in battle because of how aggressive he's driving. Look at that. Aggressive he's driving. Look at that. Does have to pull some of that angle. I mean,
Did
sick
they just cut this
initiation,
man's
but
run?
There's no way. I don't know if there's
Oh, did I
physically a way
skip
to be able to
something?
hold that car at angle all the way through that section.
He catches understeer as well. That's the problem with it.
Yeah, it's tough, but I mean, it looks stylish. There's tons of angle there. You're picking up points there.
Oh,
Doesn't sacrifice the
they
rest of
cut
the
his
line for
run.
it, and then right to
Something
the
must have
end,
happened
maybe
in
dips a
between.
wheel
Maybe the
off
network
just
went
ever
out
so
or
slightly
something.
through the fourth outside
I mean,
zone.
it
Look
is
at how
lagging
far
a lot.
back the travel is on that e-brake, though. Might have to tighten that up a touch, but hey, every driver's a little different. They like things a little bit different. But Jason Benet,
A lot
very
of this
aggressive, very
a lot of the
stylish.
GR86
As I
chassis
said, I mean,
nowadays.
if everything keeps going the way it's going, and he
I've been
makes it
seeing
to
a
the
lot
show
of
for
that
tomorrow,
chassis.
His battle runs are going to be epic.
Yeah,
It's
they
either
certainly
this
are.
one or it's the
We see
newer
Jason
one.
Benet there putting on
Well, the
show
newer body kit, the
into those outside zones along the wall.
GR86.2, I guess.
This is lovely from Jason Benet and a man that we've hyped up so much in the championship from day one when he came here.
91,
And we got score
91.
drops in. Identical
Position
score.
7.
Wow.
Good.
Jason Bennett.
He's nothing but consistent.
Definitely gonna look out. Gotta look out for him.
And we'll see what he's like tomorrow, as he looks like he's secured his spot in that top 32. We go back to the start line. Marco Zaccaril now, BMW M2.
Marco
Thumbs
Zaccaril.
up. He's a happy man so far.
He's not a happy, not picture.
Sitting for 91.5, and will he improve as he sprints off the start line through the gears he goes, as he comes over the hill and down towards initiation. As
Lovely entry. That was very good.
That car where it needs to be. Nice line
Gave
so
it
far
angle so it doesn't go off
Zaccaril.
track.
Dials on more angle towards outside zone 3. Now works it into 4 on the throttle, nice and early. Look at this, he looks absolutely dialed. The car looks settled as Zaccaril goes for the transition a little early. Goes down the wall, very long on the throttle.
Goes to that wall.
Zaccaril puts the back bumper and the tail light towards the wall and across the line.
Nice.
Just another very, very consistent driver throughout that whole thing. We're seeing a few of these 91.5s, and I don't know, this might be able to top it.
I love that they show the
Feels like
team.
he's really pushing harder,
FD needs to start doing that
a
too.
little bit different of initiation
Where they show
there,
the
just way he's
team
able to get that angle if it
of
does
the
have to scrub
driver.
a bit more.
Yeah.
It's just trying to carry that speed over it. They have a ton of speed coming over that hill, but you have to be able to carry all of it without making a correction to that angle throughout the entire thing.
Yeah.
That's the big thing they're looking for. And when you start comparing these runs to the drivers up in the the 99.5, there's no correction made without it. It is a set it and a forget it. It's a 100% commitment. As soon as the car goes sideways, they're at angle. They kind of just lock that steering wheel in place and hold it all the way through. But yeah, man, Marco Zaccaril, another driver that very excited to see what he does when he gets into battles, how he's able to handle things, and just getting more and more aggressive. As you can see, they're dragging that bumper all the way around. But I mean, the e-brake looks longer just because of the slow-mo, but 95.
Wow.
At 95.
On the board for Marco Zaccaril.
I was not expecting that run to be at 95,
really
but
strong.
okay.
It's good to see
The
Zaccaril
judges
back
get
on
so
form.
weird, man.
We talk about that engine change, that platform. It's
Yeah.
completely changed the car and changed his driving style. We go
That
back
run
on the
did
line.
not look
U-Hart
like a
points,
95
let's
to
go.
me, but I guess.
BMW
that's
E92
close.
M3, a 78.5 on his first qualifying run. Sees him in 13th position at the moment as U-Hart.
I like this new way of YouTube to do ads. Like they do the ads on this side, but they still keep you entertained on that side, so you don't miss what's happening.
Schedule, invoice, and get paid. Start your
I
free
like
trial
that.
today at jobber.com.
At least this way it won't get annoying.
U-Hart working the car right where it needs to be. Flicks it on full throttle, flicks it back towards the wall, full throttle. And then on full throttle once again as U-Hart absolutely screams across the line.
Yeah, that little bit of extra that we talked about before, the little bit we were hoping, he's pulling it out now, and this is such a veteran move, being able to put down a really, really solid run on the first one with a 90 and then be able to come back in and try to improve on that. I was a little worried. There was some hesitation there at the first part of the initiation. I didn't know if we saw maybe another misshift or something going on, but able to get that car out. Look at that. I like the kind of the drop when he shifts gears as a bit of a mic drop moment there, and then banging that gear back down as he comes through. U-Hart Putalakso, man, just continues to impress every single run, making those changes, not doing anything wild, but still having a very, very exciting run that's fun to watch, tons of angle, good style, not sacrificing that line, tons of smoke there. Not that they judge smoke, but I mean, I do. And yeah, I think
the smoke shows commitment.
It does show commitment. It shows wheel speed. It shows a lot. I mean, it depends on how nerdy you really want to get with this, but it does also show where they're on throttle and where they're not. And it's a good indication for the judges if they're decelling in a spot that they're supposed to. So there's the tire smoke.
94.
Right there we go, and a slight improvement, a 94 on the board for U-Hart Putalakso.
Now the judges want to start throwing 90s around. We had like 11 drivers went past. We didn't see a 90. Another legend, Yuki Nakamura. They pissed me off with Daigo Saito's point run. Let's see what Naoki makes. I know the judges like Naoki. They don't like Daigo, but they like Naoki.
Done and dusted yet, as a 77.5 is needed or more to stay in the show. Not such a wild initiation this time from Nakamura as he puts it where it needs to be.
Guess what? They're about to give him a 99.
Late on throttle into the outside.
My favorite driver is the only driver that's had a 99, but just watch this.
Nakamura fires it towards the wall. Yeah, both
They're about to give him like a 99 or a 98 or something.
Squeezes the accelerator, looks for that final zone, and job done.
Well, some drivers will take it.
It was
on the first
his run was definitely better than Daigo's run for sure, but the fact that Daigo didn't get a 90 at least was insane.
Bit out to lunch, mowed the grass, went on a picnic. Now I need to dial it back in, and he continues to impress with how advanced his driving has gotten year over year. He is an absolute icon in
Both
the sport. But coming
both
off a season
legends
like
of
last year,
the
he just didn't look
of
comfortable,
Japan
didn't look
are
settled.
drift
Every event
masters.
that we've
That's
seen him in
awesome.
this year,
Daigo
he
and
continues to look
Naoki.
better and more consistent throughout. He's kind of known to be a bit of a wild man, as we saw earlier on, but this is a run where he went, okay, I know I have
What
to
up,
put in a
Joseph?
solid run. I'm sitting really, really close to the
How
bubble.
are
It's
you,
edging
man?
more and more towards an 80. My 78.5 is probably not going to keep me in the show. Let's get back out there. Let's make sure I'm hitting all the zones, but still have a ton of fun as we see that wing getting really dangerously close to the wall. Can we get the pool noodles out there? I know that's more of like a grassroots thing, but like I just like
more of a like a party.
Yeah. Oh, look at that shot. I need that shot.
An 8?
Improvement as well for Nakamura. An 87
Oh, the judges are so weird.
Nakamura jumps
The
himself up to
judges are
21st
so
place and
weird.
secures himself into the show tomorrow.
How is that not a 90 run?
Only 2 drivers.
I'm happy that he didn't beat my favorite driver, but how's that not a 90 run?
Out with 0. So Kevin Quinn
The
nervously
fuck?
waits to see if he's in top 32 tomorrow. Oren Nilsson now sits on a 95 on his first qualifying
I know
run.
Japan
Fourth place
people are
at the
not
moment.
happy right now. They're not
Oren
happy.
Nilsson sits in for a
Both
spot
of their
in the qualifying
legend drivers
showdown
did not
after
get
qualifying as
90s.
He hammers through the gears. The Norwegian driver in his big Toyota Sora puts a floor as Nilsson now looks for that perfect qualifying line. A good technical line driver and very consistent is Nilsson as he gets into the outside zone, perfectly timed on the throttle, works his way around, looks for the transition as Nilsson shuts it down. Nilsson
Fucking
shuts
cars,
it down.
bro.
Oh no.
Fuck.
It looked really solid up until that point. And
Bro had
yeah,
a 95
still
first
driving
qualifying, and then the car messes up in the
quite tell if he was
second
in gear or
qualifying.
not, but something really strange there. But
Damn it.
Before that, Udon, I mean, gets the car out. This is what we talked about with keeping that
Oh
consistent.
my God!
angle
Look at
all the
that
way through.
the
Sets it
smoke
on
going out of
throttle,
those
Vic,
tires.
You can tell. Yeah,
That's
but it
so
doesn't
crazy.
adjust the steering wheel really.
The e-brake pump there, the 4.5, just to make sure the car's where he wants it. So smooth, and then just unwind.
He looks so
Look at
comfortable.
the eyes.
Looks down at the transmission.
Oh no. But man, look at the size of his eyes though throughout that.
He's not happy with that at all. I mean, he's still in the game because of that 95 first qualifying.
Oh man.
like
so
that,
it's fine. Yeah. Hopefully, he's still in it.
Well, it's
He's got nothing to worry about.
yeah, best of luck to him. I hope it's not
Well,
that bad.
we'll find out what happened to Oren Nilsson and if he'll make it to the qualifying showdown. Still a few drivers yet to go. We move it back to the start line. It's going to be Jakub Pesur, Toyota GR86 2.
Pesur!
Look at this, ice cold. That's a man that knows motorsport. He's in the zone.
Yeah.
Sits second at the moment.
His
in
first run
qualifying.
was
Two Polish
amazing.
drivers sitting first and second in
Now let's see if
qualifying.
his second
Can
qualifying
Pesur
run will
improve
be
on that
good.
score, or will he just cement it as he fires that car at an angle? Look at this from Pesur.
misses inside zone.
On inside zone 2. He's going to make it work nevertheless.
Oh,
He absolutely fires.
almost
into outside
DB,
zone 4
but he
now.
got it.
Pesur stands on the throttle, looking dialed as the Polish driver flicks
That
the car
that
through
car
the
looks
circuit, moving with more
amazing. That's a
pace than he did before.
GR86, but
Flicks
a
the back
different
end of
body
that car
kit.
towards the wall now, flicks it once again towards the wall as he looks for that final zone and across the line.
I wish
Red Bull gives you
wings
wings.
because that might have been a contender for her top spot already.
Like
which is
Red Bull
crazy
gives you
to think
smoke.
of. Oh, everything else but that one spot looks so dialed, incredibly quick coming out of the gate. Great feint initiation there, and look at it, and then you could just tell immediately.
Understeered.
Yeah, not able to get that car out, and that is the thing a lot of these drivers are fighting with these cars because of the amount of grip that they're able to make with the tires and the technology that we've got now and the driver ability. We're now at a point where the front tires have become the limiting factor in the way that they're driving, which is wild to me. But yeah, I mean, Jakub, man, every bit of him, every cell in his body is a competitor and a driver. He knows nothing but competition and taking a vehicle and pushing it to his absolute limit and just trying to find that extra little bit to take down his fellow countrymen, but not able to do it. A little bit understeer was it.
Yeah, and an 87.
An 87, yeah. He's still fine though. He's in second.
You can't be missing the zones.
If you
Not
up there in the
misleading
qualifying, you
game.
got nothing to worry about.
We go back on the line. Mika Keski-Korpi now sits in 14th position with an 89.5.
One of my new favorite drivers.
13 drivers with a 90. We're getting there. We're getting there. There we go. Through the gears goes Mika Keski-Korpi. Look at this laser focus. Looks out the window across the circuit. Flicks that car on a clutch kick. Puts that car where it needs to be. Follows that line. It's nice so far from the finished driver as Keski-Korpi now balances the car, dials it through on the handbrake, on the foot brake. Everything working at one in unison as Mika Keski-Korpi doing an Irish jig inside that car, trying to make it happen as Mika Keski-Korpi puts the back wheel of that 2 Series right to the edge of the circuit.
Come on.
Right to the white line and across the line.
Definitely going for the improvement on the
I don't understand. Red Bull is a billion-dollar company. Why are we having network issues?
Push a bit harder, although, as we talked about that, a bit of understeer, still just fighting a lot of these drivers. And really, that comes down to just that weight transfer coming over. They're really only able to drive with the front one wheel. So if you don't have everything completely dialed, if you don't have maybe the droop set to your outside wheel to make sure that it has some sort of contact to bring the car around, that is the toughest part there. But Mika Keski-Korpi, very calm all the way through this run. Looks really good. I don't know what that red on the dash was, but I think that's just the full commitment light.
Yeah, that's the we got full power light.
Yeah, that's the.
I love the livery, bro. I've never seen somebody besides Tokyo Drift. That one scene with the Hulk car.
In these cars.
The green, the purple, and the little bit of yellow goes nicely together.
Really good run there, Mika Keski-Korpi.
Very nice.
Able to improve on that night.
Mine is obviously red, blue, white, but the green, the purple, and the yellow goes nicely together.
He does improve, does Mika Keski-Korpi, and the judges feel generous this afternoon.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So there we go.
Very
good run from Mika
amazing driver.
Amazing. Looking settled, and this young man from Finland, you know, improving year on year.
Let's go, let's go. Falvey, the youngest in the room.
Irishman slams into gear. The carbon Kevlar S15 from Drift Games. What can he do?
The youngest of Drift Masters.
Comes off the line, spins a tire now, looking for that grip, trying to pedal that car, trying to get all the power down and flex that car through. And Falvey now on big angle as he absolutely nails that line so far, but he's going to come up a little shallower. Yeah, and you can see him pushing the foot brake, trying to put the back end of the S15 where it needs to be.
Let's go. Oh my God, this kid is getting better and better every year.
The car to angle. Looks for the wall, gets there nice and early as Falvey now back on throttle again, looks for that second wall run, gets the job done. Final outside zone, across the line, and Conor Falvey.
Let's go, Falvey.
Looking for every little bit again, tons more speed. Maybe one of the biggest initiations we've seen that actually paid off. We've seen a few that were maybe a bit bigger, but didn't go quite as well. But Conor Falvey getting
he wasn't happy with his Finland qualifying runs.
Flick that he puts into that car is nuts.
That's insane. You can see the body kit wanting to fly off.
Has to hold it back though. Just really has to hold that car back because
all
it wants to do is shoot back out right into the grass, right at our fans here, and is able to do so. That's not an easy thing to do because you want that foot to the floor and then using that left foot to hold the brake, hold that car back.
Flick again.
It's like a horse that's trying to run away from you. He's just yanking on the reins for all of his worth throughout this entire run.
Nice.
He's so aggressive for being such a
Let's go, Falvey.
As soon as you get him out of the car, he's very quiet, very friendly, big smile, but as a driver, he's
all right, bro. This judges are pissing me off.
And I'm going to say
how was that not a 90 run?
2 wheels over the curb.
You think so?
Yeah.
Do you want to be a judge? You could be.
No, I don't want to be a judge.
No?
I never, ever want to judge. I'm getting
I don't care if the wheel was over the curb. That was still a good
he's
run.
saying that I was right. So there you go. I've learned a little bit in the last couple
of years. How's that an 88
run? To a man that's sitting with an 86 at the moment. U-Hart Rintanen from Finland sits in 23rd position. Flicks in this 2J's e-power to a GR86. And very nice. Look at that line. That's the line. But he's gone deep on that line. Judge will be taking a good look at that. He's gone early once again.
Yeah.
He's good. He's good. He's good. He's good.
Earlier on, Jakub does the same thing again, and he's on an odd transition now to outside zone 5. Makes it work though as he gets to the wall to 6, puts the foot down to the floor, works the back end of that GR86 right to the crease, right to the edge of the circuit.
Yeah, you are looking to almost develop.
Everybody's in the mood for a 360 today.
It's not even like a trying because he did do it. He was able to get through the run, but in a
gotta give the fans something.
Version of what we've seen before. A little bit late on those transitions. His flick was so subtle. Look at just a little whoop, whoop, and there it is. Most drivers really having to kind of get
flick
the car and weight transfer, but I mean that is not the case here for Juha Rintanen, who just uses just a little bit, but goes a bit wide through this section, still on throttle, still a lot of commitment.
Look how close he is to the wheel.
The lock through that.
Yeah, he's on the lock stops,
Yeah, just slamming that steering wheel over, hoping for a few more degrees.
They're the reason whenever I drive pro cars on the sim, I get my wheels so. I mean, it is comfortable.
Yeah. And it's just
the more your elbow bends inwards and your arms are literally, your hands are literally underneath the wheel, makes it easier
really
to
something they're looking for here
swing the wheel around.
No, it might come into line,
instead of
although it's not
your
a part
arm being fully stretched away
line,
from the wheel.
But in a lead run with the chase driver, that is very difficult to chase.
Without a good lead, you can't have a good chase, and,
Right.
and judges take all that into consideration. Hence why we have qualifying, hence why we whittle down 40-odd drivers down to just 32. Not an
Yeah.
improvement.
He's still in, though.
U-Hart
Qualifies,
will
though.
only be a 77.5.
It's fine.
Stays where he is in 23rd position.
Qualifying is just, let's go!
Place qualifier at the moment, and I'm gonna say a man that can't
Let's go,
be beaten
bro.
right now. In
He
qualifying.
can't be beaten. Ever.
I'm just gonna say it.
Yeah.
No one can
Say
beat
it, bro.
And then
Say
that
it.
perfect
He's
run,
won
no
multiple
one can
times
beat
in
it.
this
It
shit
comes off
for
the
you
line
to say
from
it.
Poland. Piotr Wiecek right now flicks the GR
Let's go.
Supra to angle as he absolutely
Oh my
hammers
God,
the
you can
ball.
hear him
He's on the
scream.
inside.
You
He's
can hear the
absolutely
engine
going for it. As Piotr Wiecek coming out here
Let's
right now,
go.
swinging, putting on a show for the fans at Mondello
Show them
Park.
how it's
He
done, bro.
absolutely adores
Don't let
Ireland,
them forget
and he
your name
adores the
ever
fans
again.
here, and they adore him too as he puts
Oh
the back
my-
end towards the
yeah,
wall.
that car's down.
Piotr Wiecek is here this weekend to make a statement as he lights up the tyres and lights up the hearts of everyone.
Yes!
Wow.
I'm ordering my shirt. Bro, I got Adams. I got to start getting like a collection of shirts.
Score. He wants to get that 100. He's using every single bit of the track.
That's it.
Going edge to edge on
Good
absolutely
night.
everything. As fast
It's
of a
over.
transition as he can get. As fast
Qualifying's done.
initiation. Just a little bit
It's
of an
over.
e-brake pull there. Not much in through that inside clip. As close in as he can
Oh
with it going
my
off track.
God,
Look at that.
bro.
Absolutely straddles that. That front right tire just on the edge of that clip, pushing the car as wide as he possibly can through every
Like I
single part of the
already
track.
loved
Absolutely
drifting
epic.
when I
So
obviously
it is-
when
it is
I
wild what
Von
he's doing there
Gittin
and
and
trying to use
Ken
every
Block
part of the track, maybe
growing
even
up
parts
as a
of the
kid,
track that
seeing
he
those
can't.
cars go crazy on
His
YouTube.
first run.
You don't think so?
But then in 2016, I saw an S15 going crazy on
The
FD,
360 was phenomenal.
and I fell in love. And I
Should
was
be
like,
110
"Holy
points. There we
shit,
go.
Peter!"
Score drops in a 96. Do you know where it went wrong?
Oh.
Inside zone 2.
That's
wheels on the
fine.
curb.
It's still a
They
90.
said it in the briefing.
We
Don't
got
go
two
on the curb.
90s.
You go on the curb, you're going to lose points.
Okay.
You just can't go on that curb. And
Let's
that's a
go.
big point. And it's easy for the judges to see.
Now he just
Look,
gotta
the
do
judges
that
have done some hard
throughout
work.
the
I tell
whole
you who's done some seriously
Drift
hard
Master
work.
series
It's
this year.
Piotr Wiecek, and Becky's
He's
with him
just
right
gotta
now.
drive like that.
Peter. That was a run for the ages. I mean, 99.5 points.
You know
How
who
can you
you
even
fucking
top that? When you
talking
pulled
to?
to the line, were you thinking, I'm going to try and get that extra 0.5 for the points, or was that just for fun for the crowd?
To be honest, at the last minute I just decided let's do it just for fun, and it was worth it. I had really a blast during that run. I was full throttle almost everywhere, and
You were full throttle the whole fucking time.
To enjoy, you know, it's amazing.
Oh my
It's
God,
best
he's
score in my
finally
career,
smiling,
so,
bro. After after 3 years of
it's excellent,
nothing
it's
but
excellent.
dealing with
Now-
issues with that fucking
Yeah,
car.
we have a moment to celebrate,
Finally
but
smiling.
need to focus for the rest of the competition. It's just the beginning.
That car is
How
so
are your thoughts
annoying,
moving
man.
into this weekend? You've obviously set yourself up very nicely in qualifying, but
It's like you know the driver's good, but the car is the issue. Usually they'll be like, "Oh, it's the
Yeah,
driver."
exactly. So as I said, it's
But not in
just
this
a
case. A
small
car is
moment
just.
to celebrate and to have
It's
fun
bigger
and to
than the
enjoy,
S15
but,
as well, a lot more
the
wider.
real hit will begin
But
tomorrow. So
I'm glad
yeah.
he's finally getting a hang of it.
Good. Congratulations, Peter. Enjoy it for the moment. We'll see you
Let's
on top then,
go.
too. Guys, a very
Yeah.
happy Wiecek there. Back to you.
Thank you, Becky. Yeah, I'm not surprised. A 99.5.
I'll lose my
career
mind if I
best.
meet Peter. Like I already meet James Dean, I already meet Adam, I already meet all these drivers.
Here in Poland, as we mentioned earlier.
If I meet
You're
my
back on
favorite
the line
driver,
to
I'll
Kevin
just lose
Pesur.
my
Look at that. He
fucking
buttons on the
mind.
anti-lag, slams the car into gear, and he's ready to do some damage on the circuit. And 88.5, and Pesur will want to move himself way up the order. You would have seen what's attainable out there on track as he flicks that BMW to angle. And look at this, a nicer line from Kevin Pesur. Keeps it clean this time, right to the edge of the circuit as Kevin Pesur works his way around outside zone 4.
Come on,
Flat to the
Pesur,
floor as
keep-
he locks up the front brake, just trying to push the back end that BMW right into the zone as he now flicks it towards the wall. A little
Nice.
shallow,
Low shallow there, yep. It's fine though.
For Kevin Pesur as he flicks
It's
it
fine
towards the
though.
last outside zone and across
Yes,
the line.
sir.
Looked really tidy there just until that last outside zone. It was a really good repeat, potentially even better than his first run through the vast majority of that run, but going a little bit wide when the tires are really hot and you're got all that adrenaline going through you and you think, okay, I got this, I can push through. And you have to keep that restrained until the run is completely over. But every other part of this run looks good. The transition's really nice and snappy, making them at the correct spots to get the car lined up, not over angling, not over rotating. And then through our last zones, that's where it gets just a little bit dicey there for Kevin. But will it increase his score? 88.5, it's going to be tough. I don't know. Is it going to put him in the show?
If
Right
he's
now,
in the 80s, he's
17th.
fine. He's
Should
still
be a pretty
qualifying.
comfortable spot, but always want to move up the field.
Yeah, of course. They always want to move up the field. And oh, there we go.
Yeah, it's fine.
Identical score.
Qualified.
For Kevin Pesur, an 88.5. And So the line was worse, but the style was better.
There you go. I think that's a good balance.
It's a good balance. Yeah. They just need to work on that line for tomorrow.
I think that's easier to work on than style.
Yeah.
I think it's, yeah.
Style just comes naturally.
Exactly.
There we go. Well, man, there's always good on the line.
Korpulinski, let's do this.
He sits on the line right now, of an 86 dead. The man from
Come
Poland,
on.
2JZ powered Nissan 200SX S14A screams through the gears. He fires down. He's very clinical, a very good line driver.
Let's go.
Korpulinski, what can he do right now? He would have seen his fellow Polishman top the scoreboards and set the judges' hearts alight, but what can he do as he stands on the foot brake, works the back end of that car right where it needs to be.
I don't like the way that chassis looks. It looks so bland, but
I'm getting back on track with.
I mean, there's a bunch of body kits out there he could have gone with, but I guess, you know, he's more of a saddle person.
Wow, Pawel Korpulinski, I mean,
Doesn't want to look too much.
This is one of the most technical drivers I've ever seen. Yeah. He just sets this car in.
You're wearing the right shirt, brother. You're wearing the right shirt.
What he's doing in the car, because he gets these big, able to, one of the most.
That guy's got the right outfit on.
Yeah. He just sets this car in. He's able to know, there's so much trust in what he's doing in the car, because he gets these big angles, he gets the car floated out, and then is able to fill all the zones, get right to the edge of the track on every run. And where he was always lacking a little bit was that style and the angle part of it, but he's getting that now. The angle he gets coming out of this zone, transitioning out, looks so good. Look at the lock on this, and that's not something you would have seen previously. Big snap there on that transition.
Yeah, Korpulinski is definitely one of the drivers that has improved a lot.
Make it look fluid, make it look like
his driving from this year to compared to last year is just day and night.
But Pawel Korpulinski
completely different.
He's upping his game every single time, taking notes from the judges and all the points that he might not have been able to fulfill previously. And I really think he's just scaling up with every run.
Yeah, he certainly is scaling up with every run. He looks comfortable the more and more he does in the car. He had limited practice yesterday. He said that he had some debris go into the bell housing on the gearbox. It destroyed the flywheel. The flywheel then started to destroy the clutch and everything else. They worked through the night to get the car repaired, and he said, look, by the morning we'll be ready for practice again. He went out and practiced this morning, and it's done him, you know, due diligence, because he's put the car where it needs to be, and he's rewarded by it. A 94.
94. That's what he should have gotten before in the first qualifying run.
I mean, style and angle, 59 and 19.
Yeah, wild. Oh man, that's
Who's
a little
next?
bit more, but
Come on, Jack.
A big story.
Well, it's the
right
first
You don't do that back here again, please.
Right now.
This is your last qualifying time.
Look at his face inside the car.
Just make it super fast.
He needs
don't do that back.
Shanahan sits with a 0. He's out of the show for tomorrow.
Please don't. There we go. Just try to qualify. Just get a 90. Just get a 90. Go for a 90.
He needs to score more than a 77.5. As Shanahan
yep, that's a 90. This is definitely a 90.
Opens up the throttle now.
If he can just get a 90, he qualifies.
The weekend is, can he get it into the show? As Shanahan sits with
Come
a 0.
on.
He needs to work. He needs to put it right to the edge of the circuit.
Please.
Shanahan takes it across the line.
Yeah, talk about stepping
Oh my God, judges. Give him a 90. It's fucking Jack Shanahan. We need him and his brother both in the qualify.
The amount of pressure that was on Jack Shanahan before that run started is incredible. I don't think I've ever felt it. I don't know if anybody in this entire facility has felt what Jack Shanahan just went through on that run. Did not waver at any point. Hucks that car in as hard as he could. Does a great job through that blending line there. Gets the car way out.
I would have loved to see that back here run, but
and then gets right on the edge
it's the
of the
reason
track.
why he's almost about to be not qualified.
If he did, it was just by an absolute hair. But Jack Shanahan, tons of angles, snappy transition on throttle all the way through this part. Back out, gets into that zone, gets a little bit of a left foot brake to make sure he's filling all of it. Fighting through that broken windshield. Oh man, Jack Shanahan steps up in a moment of desperation. Man, the speed he's got going into those zones is just wild.
I'm hoping it's worth it.
Do you think it's enough, Ian? Do you
I don't
think
know.
we're going to see Jack Shanahan?
Well, I mean, look,
if he can get an 89 or a 90, he's fine. He qualifies. Because that's enough points to qualify you, even though you messed up in your first qualifying run. If he can just get that, he's fine.
So 77.5.
Come on. An 87, 89, 90. If he gets a 94, I'll be happy as shit. Please.
It's a nervous wait for everyone. It's going to be an 86.5.
Yes, he qualified. Yep.
Fourth position.
And
not as
That was sketchy.
Not as good as maybe
Almost
what
didn't
I
make it.
assumed, or we assumed. There were some mistakes creeping in there. Not sure how the judges see it, but I tell you who's down on the ground with Jack Shanahan.
She's saying she's a Shanahan
fan.
fan.
Must be happy now.
She's a Shanahan
I know you love a
fan.
bit of pressure, but come on. You know, a 0 on the first run, then an 86.5. You're in
That
the
first
game,
one was
but that's
bonkers.
not nice when you
I
lead
don't
the
know what
line
the
and
fuck
you've
he
got
was
that feeling on your shoulders, is
He
it?
was like, I'm gonna
No,
give
I
them a
must say,
baggie.
I haven't felt that bad before a run like in a long time. I'm not too sure what it is. I don't know if I can't control my nerves properly anymore. But the first run, just the car didn't feel right in the straight, and I kind of flicked in the wrong gear, and then I gave it a gear, and then it was just terrible. Then I hit the curb, and it was kind of half wet, and it was just I made an ass of myself basically. But look. Yeah, I was so nervous there. That run was like definitely the worst run that I've done all weekend, and to still get an 86, I'm quite happy with that at least. So I think to try to get like a good sleep tonight because last night's sleep was terrible. So I think that's the biggest thing.
Well, Jack, from where we were standing, it was a great run. Speed, style, line, and angle, you had it all in there. And you're in the game,
Yeah,
you're in the show, and that's the main thing.
Exactly.
We'll see you very soon on Top 32.
See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
See you tomorrow.
Thank you, Becky. Well done, Jack. Got himself in the shot. Yeah, do you know what he needs? Good meal.
He made
early
it.
to bed.
Yeah.
Forget about it.
Chill.
Reset.
Chill. We know
Someone
he's
who's
a
also
little
similar to
big.
Zero is this young man.
Chill
Itay
with the
Sadeh sits on
food.
line.
Okay, we all love
DB
food.
After initiation on that inner zone 2, the front tyre popped off the bead. Looks like the team.
Come on,
obviously
Itay,
got it
qualify.
fixed. Back out on
One of the
track.
other
Needs to
youngest
score, as
drivers
we
in the
say,
track.
A 79 now or more to get himself into that show.
Hopefully
Fires
that tire
car on a
incident
big angle,
doesn't
catches
happen
loads
again.
of understeer. He's gone super wide.
He's fine. He's
Itay
fine.
Sadeh bleeding some points now. The man that was on the podium at round 1 now puts himself in a sticky situation. Starts to bleed even more points on that outside zone.
Oh man, he's very
Looks
shallow
for
in
the
the
wall, looks for
turns.
that outside zone, works his way into it now, finds himself
Oh.
into the groove, puts his foot to the floor. Can he redeem
He
anything
needs
from
an
that one?
80, and I don't
That
think
is
that's an
battling
80
a lot of
run.
nerves. Another driver with a ton of pressure on their shoulders to get through.
He needs an
It's
80.
one thing to make a mistake. It's another thing to have that mechanical.
If he can get
not
his
sure
hands
if
on
you
the
can
80,
really
he
trust your car
qualifies.
again.
But I
As
don't
Itay
think that
said,
run was even worth the
pushes
80.
out a little bit wide,
Yeah,
missing that
that
inside clip, but
sucks.
does a good job to collect the next zone.
His
And the
first
transition's
qualifying run was
early
very
and has to
good
float
until
so
the whole
far out
tire
to
thing
outside zone
happened.
4, taking a midline approach through there and then transitions again, but a couple of big mistakes in there, and with with qualifying going the way that it is, with a 79, now the breaking point between being in the show and watching from the sidelines, is going to be enough for Itay Sadeh, who had an incredible set of runs previously? I mean, even within practice, and coming out of Spain, everything looked really, really solid for him on a heater. But now having to wait and watch the scoreboard to see what's going to happen with the rest of his weekend.
Oh, well, yeah, he certainly is. It's going to be a nervous wait for Itay Sadeh as the judges deliberate. This one, the score drops in. It's going to be an 81.
Itay, he made
Itay
it.
Sadeh does get himself into the show, knocks out Timo
Made
Montolo,
it.
puts
That's
Ryan Hughes
he did
onto
it
the
as
drop
better
zone,
than
and
he did
Hines
that
down into
1% better than I
21st
even expected.
Our,
Let's go.
Championship
Lauri.
leader, our championship defender
Yeah.
from 2024 now sits on the
That's
line.
how you know his
out
favorite
of
driver is
top 32.
Lauri.
Currently sits
He
in
keeps
37th
glazing.
position with a 73.5. Big story of the weekend. What can Heinonen do? He needs a 79 or more to get himself into the show as he flicks.
Come on, Lauri.
Dodge, NASCAR, V8, Pro Charged, S13, 2 angles. He now works his way around the outside zone. Heinonen needs to get it done right now. The Finnish driver has all the pressure on his shoulders, but he loves to fight from the back as he puts the back end towards the wall.
Yep, that's
Heinonen on
qualifying.
pole, looks for that second wall.
That's a
goes for it,
qualifying.
Looks for the final zone and across the
Yep.
line.
He wanted to do more. I know how Lauri drives. He wanted to do more, but he was already like in bad waters with the first qualifying. So he played it safe a little bit.
It is not in his being.
Because
So
trust
much
me, he
speed
goes a lot
coming
more
out of that
crazier than
run.
that.
Flicks the car in, sends
He played it a
so
little
wide, and look at
safer.
him. In a very obscure driving position, everybody letting go to the steering wheel on transition, grabs the e-brake, gets it settled, back on throttle, just making so much smoke, so much speed and noise. It's just a visceral run.
I didn't even realize the engine was a Dodge
doesn't know
engine.
the word for pressure either. Safe run, pressure,
Doesn't sound like a
safety, Any
Dodge.
of those things, they just don't translate.
I mean, it's a
No,
NASCAR
certainly
Dodge
don't.
engine.
And this is a
So
man
maybe
that
that's
told us
why.
before multiple times that he loves to fight for a championship. He doesn't want to be leading it, defending it. He wants to fight for it. And will he be a 2-time champion? Well, it's going to be a tough battle and it's going to be a tough year, that's for sure. Lauri Heinonen did make a mistake after the initiation on that inner zone. You could see it was a wheel on the curb, so I'm not expecting it to, top qualifying. But the score drops in. It's going to be a 94. It will be a good score, but it's
Lauri
going to be
is
8th
in for
position
tomorrow.
for Lauri Heinonen. All that matters for Heinonen is he's into the show for tomorrow. The championship fight is still alive. At the moment, he's currently sitting 5th in the championship. Becky's down with Lauri Heinonen. He managed to do it, Becky, but on the final run, but it wasn't great and he doesn't look comfortable.
Absolutely, Ian. Lauri, there's no such thing as a safe run here, but you really had to put it all to the wall there. You've got a 94, that's brilliant, but can you tell us what happened in that first run? It was uncharacteristic for you.
Yeah, I honestly, I don't know what happened. We found a fault. The steering column was hitting the exhaust, but I don't know if that was it, or was it just me? But yeah, a lot of pressure for the second run.
Can you give us a quick track update out there? Is it slick or are you full grip? Can you tell us what's happening?
It's a bit slick, yeah. Looks completely dry, but it's slippier than in practice.
Okay, well, great. Well, we'll see you in our top 32. Thank you so much for a wonderful run, and we'll see you there.
Let's go, Lauri.
Thank you, Becky. Yeah, so it's still slick
Let's
out
go.
there, Jacob. Interesting.
I'm glad he made it.
Well, a man that didn't find it slick and found it absolutely fine was this man, Arne Kvia, sitting in 10th place at the moment with a 93.
He's fine. Kvia is chilling. He's got his points from Finland,
at the moment,
and now he's doing even better than ever in Ireland. That man is happy as hell.
Kvia's going to want to be part of that conversation, especially
He's the highest qualifying Drift Masters driver right now.
How did he hold on to it? Wow! Kvia
Show them why you're number one.
He's
At the moment.
swinging on the second qualifying run. The Norwegian sledgehammer does not hold back as now Kvia opens up the throttle. Full throttle transition once again as Kvia puts it to the wall. Absolutely insane. From Kvia. Where did this run come from?
Where did this driver come from? After all these years.
Waiting for. This is what we saw him try and practice.
Now suddenly he's doing insane driving.
Through almost the entire track. Absolutely insane what Kvia just did there. I know he grabbed a little bit of handbrake on initiation, but it wasn't much. The speed coming out of the chute and just absolutely on it. Look at the speed coming through that zone. Angles the car up, somehow finds a way to dig it out of that zone because nobody else is able to do it. And look at how calm he is in this. Oh my gosh, the onboard, you would have no idea. If you just watch the onboard,
unlike the other driver who won in Spain, who's having a lot of issues throughout Finland and Ireland, Kvia is definitely showing why he's the top score leading driver.
All the way through competition. This
Definitely.
Is the qualifying setup. This isn't some trickery.
Until my favorite driver comes to take that spot from him.
He wants this all weekend. He wants this smoke on every driver he's going
I'm hoping Peter gets back at the top. Oh my god. I love Kvia, but
wow, Arne Kvia.
You're keeping the seat warm.
Finds another gear.
Keep the seat warm for my favorite driver.
Norwegian sledgehammer.
You know what, when Wiecek come out and laid down that 99.5, I thought that's going to be it. I think every other driver's kind of laid down a little bit and said, we're going to do our best, but maybe it's done. You know, maybe qualifying's done.
Oh my god, I just realized, is that a 99? Let's go. It's not a 99.
It's
not a 99. We're good.
He improves by 1 point.
That felt like a 99, but it's not.
It's very...
Oh, the machine is next and the fucking ad comes on. Damn it, YouTube.
Championship at the moment, and it's going to be James Deane on the line.
The machine!
The Mustang RTR Spec 5 DM.
Look at that thing. Team RTR all the way, let's go.
Look at this from James Deane. He knows what's on the board as he fires a big angle at it, and he holds the angle as James Deane now sets.
Let's go.
The rear tires are light, puts the car where it needs to be.
Oh, the Mustang. That's not.
James Deane
that was the Mustang.
Wow. And he aborts the run and says,
that was not his fault. That was the Mustang. The Mustang has a lot of angle.
We're seeing some of the best.
Way more angle than any car.
Mistakes that they've never made before. What is going on?
He probably just threw it a little bit too much than he wanted it to.
This is crazy.
Well, look at this.
Look how much angle that shit has.
Phenomenal. It comes down there. Incredible angle. Look at the steering angle. Doesn't change the steering wheel whatsoever. Sets himself up.
And then right there, he pushed it a little too much. Yep, and it locked up. The car locked up.
He is at complete lock.
It locked up on him.
There is no more angle to be had in this car.
Yeah, you're right.
Yep.
And that's all it is.
You're right.
Angle.
Comes in there with a ton of angle.
Those Mustangs have way too much angle, man.
And you take your foot off for a second just
91
to try and
run.
find a bit more grip,
He qualified this. We already know what he's best at.
Just huck it around, throw a 360 for the fans.
James Deane beats drivers one after another like it's nothing.
Come out this weekend and put on a show. And wow, he moves off. And
Oliver Randalu is the Spain winner.
We carry on with the order. It's
but he's been struggling ever since after Spain.
28th place. He is in the show tomorrow. as everyone now is locked in.
A lot of drivers in Spain were having weird issues, like James, Conor. They were all couldn't qualify for some weird. It was weird.
He needs those points to keep
So
hold of this championship.
Oliver Randalu won, but now
him down.
he can't seem to keep that top position anymore.
From our start line, Marshall Martin.
Come on, Oliver.
And he'll slam that BMW.
Still rooting for him, bro. All
M50
love.
turbo underneath the bonnet.
All love and war.
1,000 horsepower, and Randalu absolutely dialed in the zone. Look at this, doesn't even want to take his eyes.
See, now his yellow goes nicely. His yellow, white, black style goes
He's hungry for it. He wants to
lovely.
be back on the podium. He podiumed
I just
here
didn't like the other driver's yellow. It just looked weird.
many moons ago. And he'll want to do that again in front of this incredible crowd as he fires through the gears. Down he comes over the hill, and look at this from Randalu.
Let's go, Randalu.
Makes it work as he holds onto it. Oh, and it's a little bit of understeer.
Side
He
bite.
gets back into it again as Randalu opens up the throttle. Now works his way around outside zone 4. Looks for the transition and gets it done. Looks for the wall. Flicks that car to angle. Takes the back bumper right to the wall. But it pushes him away from
I
the
think
wall.
Randalu still qualifies though.
Last outside zone across the line.
Yeah, looking for a little
Yeah, he
bit
has
too
an
much
80.
out
If
of
you
the
have
car
an
here,
80,
trying to
you're
get it
fine.
to-
If you have
to
a
go maybe
70,
bit
you're
beyond
done.
the limit that he's got it set up for right now. A bit of a head shake there,
Yeah,
but
I think he knew what
qualifies.
he'd done there.
yeah, but this is what you need to try to go for these crazy scores. And sometimes it pays off and sometimes it doesn't. But the car just fighting back a little bit on him as he's got everything completely wicked up, dragging that front left tire around. And I mean, not a lot of smoke out of it, which tells me that there's not a lot of weight on that tire right now. So he's really pushing it, softening a lot out of the car to try and find every bit. He's shaking his head midway through the run.
Yeah, he knows
the mistakes
Yeah.
he's made. But that bumper drag, though, I mean, that's just one of those. This is for me. This is one of those, like, I just got to do it for me to know that the rest of this run was absolutely crazy. But yeah, Oliver Randalu, he can do this. He can put down these epic runs, but trying something a little bit different. Even in transition, he's lifting a wheel there, showing how much suspension that how soft he's got everything in the
If
car.
he made that
trying for it.
second qualifying
Totally
point, it
commendable
would have been
going for
very
something a
bad.
little bit crazy.
But
No, 100%. He knew he had to do it.
77 with the 82,
77.5 in his
he
second
makes it. He
qualifying run for
qualifies.
Oliver Randalu. Look, he's still in the championship fight, and you know, it can't be won in qualifying. It all has to be done tomorrow. Top 32, top 16. Becky's down with him. Becky, how's he feeling? It's going to be a tough championship for him.
Oliver, I saw a head shake in the car as you were driving around the track. Not happy by the looks of things. Can you tell us what happened from your point of view?
Yeah, I was trying to go like really hard. We have some betting on in the paddock with the teammates, so I was like pushing really hard. But I knew I made a couple of mistakes, and I think I don't know the points, but I think it's not the best one. So.
We saw a bit of understeer on outer zone 3, I think it was. Like, have you got the car set up to be softer for this track?
Yeah, it's quite soft. It's quite gripped up, and we're just from the day one we pushed the limits, like added more grip just to be ready. And it's hard. If there's a little bit understeer or something, then it's messed up.
Well, you're into the top 32. This is a track that isn't very forgiving, and we'll see you there tomorrow. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Woo. Let's go.
Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Becky. Yeah, he knew it himself.
Yeah.
Like, and as a driver, they know where the mistakes are. They know where it's all gone wrong. We go back on the start line to our final run of qualifying. It's going to be Conor Shanahan, our current points leader at the moment. He sits on the line, a little nervous, a little tentative. Sits in 14th position at the moment for 91 dead. He'll want to improve on that as he wipes his eyes slightly and slams the car through
Connor is just not
Shanahan
having a good day, both in Drift Masters and in FD. He's driving insane, phenomenal, but I don't know. It's the point system. I don't know. They're just not giving him great points.
Shanahan works that GT86 all the way around the circuit, puts the backlight towards the wall, but no contact, keeps it clean. The Shanahan has absolutely got this one dialed this weekend.
Let's
Such a
go.
smooth
Nice.
slalom through those transitions, and he is known worldwide as one of the best drivers in transition. He does it with such commitment and such grace. Look at him just deciding, that's it. I don't need these tires. They're
Look
done.
at the
Mount them up
fans.
for the weekend. You know, send them off. But
He's
look
got
at
the
this.
right
Just
shirt
gets
on.
the throttle,
He's right,
gets that car
the right
transition, does a
T-shirt
good
on.
job of
Yep.
weaving into that zone.
Got that Red Bull Conor
Pushing the car
Shanahan.
nice and wide. You can almost see
And then the
smile
other
on his
lady
face.
got
He
the
knows
Jack
what kind of
Shanahan.
driving he's able to do throughout this run on your home track in front of all the fans.
I think that's it.
I really love the
Isn't
way
he the last
that
driver?
he's able to get the car back and forth. It does. It's like that head
Couple
on
more
to a
drivers
slalom.
left.
And Conor Shanahan showing why he is one of the greatest drifters on the planet right now. To see him drive like this in Ireland, that is just one of those bucket list items I get to check off.
You got to tick it off the list.
Tick it off the list.
Watch the Shanahans and James Deane and all the Irish just
go down and throw
down in their home track. It's always good to go and visit, a driver's home track or country, because you see the support from the fans and everything else. And there we go, a 97.
Let's go!
Shanahan into second position and into the qualifying showdown. And he is looking on form and back to the Conor Shanahan that
That's
we
definitely
know.
a family member.
Becky's down with him. Becky, Conor Shanahan back on form.
Absolutely, guys. Connor's just catching up on the replay as this is a very important weekend for him as we're going midway through this season. Connor, you got a big smile on your face, though. It looked like you were having the crack out there in front of your home crowd. Can you tell us what's happening from your point of view?
Yeah, it's definitely nice. I feel like it's probably just trying to get a good rhythm. I think it's quite hard. Everybody is pushing. I was even saying to the guys yesterday, we came here 4 years ago and Friday practice 4 years ago. There was probably 5 or 6 of us are flat out from the get-go because we know this track, but I got to give props. The level right now is just endless. Every day I'm pushing myself as hard as I can to be a better person, better driver. And, it's great to see that everybody wants it, not just, a couple of guys. Everybody is going hard. And that run was just about putting the pieces together. I felt like it honestly was probably still one of the worst runs of the weekend for me. It was just, I can't really get a good flow. And but I knew I just needed to get enough over the line, get into the top 4, get some showdown points. And, let's go rub some doors and put on a show now.
Fantastic, Connor, and we'll see you out there. Got a 97 on the board. He's happy, guys.
I bet
Let's go.
He looks like he's back.
Of course he is. Man. It's not easy to get up into the 90s.
No more heartbreak, no more, that hard weekend for Conor Shanahan. It's all about the good vibes.
The Shanahans.
And feeling good in the car. There we go. The Shanahan team were being represented around the paddock and around the stands. Peter Wiecek rounds out qualifying in first place with a 99.5.
Peter,
Shanahan in second, Pushkonski in third, and Zachariah in fourth.
I'm glazing a little too much. I got it right.
Jacob, some of these guys are...
Oh, man. It just feels so good after like 2 to 3 years of him not qualifying and him not doing good. It's just... Finally, man. Your favorite driver gets to be up there.
A lot of our wildcard drivers moving their way up and locking in these spots. James Deane down a little bit further.
Yeah.
Okay, I apologize to whatever drivers left, but
Conor.
That's it, right?
Yeah, Harry Kerr, Dwayne McKeever. What is this?
Hold on.
Putting money up onto.
Okay. They're about to give us a little showdown.
This is
for
how
fun.
it works. The top 4
fastest max speed.
All right.
Yeah.
They're gonna give us a little showdown.
What is this?
Yes.
This is Drift Masters.
Oh man.
I told you.
You know who it is? It's the king of Drift Masters.
Come and sit next to you and talk some drifting. I was like, you.
Yeah, they call James Deane the king, but we all know who the real king is.
And this heart's broken left, right, and centre, and we get mechanicals. And look, it's going to be a tough one. There we go. We're going to take a look now, though. As a teaser for tomorrow, this is a qualifying showdown. This is how it works. The top 4 qualifiers face off in battles. Extra championship points, up to 4 additional points for contenders.
Yeah.
So the top 4 go head-to-head. But what top 4 are going head-to-head? Who's going to battle who? Well, it's easy. It's going to be Peter Wiecek to take on Marco Zachariah and Jakub Pushkonski to take on Conor Shanahan.
And this is huge for Conor. Being out in the lead like this is going to be huge. And we're already seeing it looks like
so
Wiecek
news just breaking.
Yeah.
And you're at home probably thinking what's happened to Piotr Wiecek. So
opening day. That wonderful feeling of maybe.
We're going to get a buy run from Marco Zachariah. Peter Wiecek, look, we go back to Spain. He had that big accident with James Deane, unfortunately, that destroyed his Supra. He had to prep his other car for competition for the rest of the year. He said, look, it's good fun. I like it, but the points aren't worth risking my car, so I'm going to take a step back. This isn't mandatory. These guys can remove themselves from the competition if they want to. We don't make them do this.
Yes, but for the drivers that are in here and remaining, these points are absolutely massive.
Well, they are for Conor Shanahan right now.
But even, Puszonski and Zachariah to be able to
come on.
Get back
I got
into
places
the
to be.
championship
Come
fight
on.
or
Let me
fight
see
to
this.
just even get up a little bit further. And
This
some of this is
point
just a
system
respect
thing.
thing, and a lot of it is now Zachariah going to be taking that buy run, it looks like.
Yeah, he's going to be taking that buy run, so he has to do the buy run because the rules here at Drift Masters are you have to initiate on the first corner to prove your car works to advance in competition. So there we go. You can see Conor Shanahan down there getting the Wally system fitted on the roof so we can get some of those, that information. before we head into tomorrow. Marco Zaccarillo is going to head into the tyre warming area, get the tyres on that car warmed and ready for the bye run in our qualifying showdown. And this is, ladies and gentlemen, just
I'm not sure how the Drift Masters payment system works, but in FD you pay for every day. So let's say you win on Friday, you pay for only the specific day, and then you have to pay again for Saturday. And if you park your car, your van, and you stay over the night, then you have to pay for that day as well. But I don't know how the Drift Masters work. Maybe they do like a one-time payment or something. I don't know.
Well, 41 drivers were whittled down to just 32, and those 32 drivers battled it out to grid themselves for tomorrow's top 32 competition. But the top 4 get blessed with an opportunity to gain even more points in qualifying by heading out for our qualifying showdown. Peter Wiecek, as we just mentioned earlier on, removed himself from that qualifying showdown and said, look, I don't want to compete. I'm going to sit, sit behind the scenes and get the car prep for tomorrow. Marco Zaccarillo gets a bye run. And the rules here of Drift Masters is he has to initiate the first corner to prove the car works to make it into the final, who will face either Jakub or Conor Shanahan. So
the question is, does he do a full run and get the extra practice in, get that seat time in?
Or will he save the car?
Or do you just do the one initiation and call it? We'll see here.
Well, we'll see here. He's going to fire the car in. So there we go. He's automatically now moved himself into the final of our qualifying showdown. And he instantly shuts the car down. But I do have to say that this weekend isn't like any other weekend at Drift Masters. It may be moving forward into the future. But this weekend, Darren McNamara from DMAC, they have put some prize money on the line. So for the first time on a Saturday here at Drift Masters, the top qualifier gets €2,000. So Peter Wiecek has automatically won €2,000.
Yeah.
The qualifying showdown winner will also get €2,000.
That's insane. That's 2,000 in the bag.
The prize pot, yeah.
It could
I
just
mean, that 2,000 goes right back into the car anyway.
Exactly that.
It could be,
It's not like it goes into their pockets for fun. It goes literally right back into the car.
That would be lovely tonight. I wouldn't turn it down.
We're looking for suggestions where to spend that money. Yeah.
And there'll be prize money on the line tomorrow, so the DMAC.
Okay. I like this showdown. Red Bull versus Red Bull. Okay. That's awesome. I'm glad they did that.
Drivers. And of course, Strom Wheels as well.
Same livery, too.
More money into the prize pot.
Shanahan's one's a little darkerish blue, but
so here we go.
Red Bull versus Red Bull.
The first real battle of our qualifying showdown. It's going to be Jakub to take on Conor Shanahan. Now, don't forget, if you're new to Drift Masters, if you're
the old body kit versus the new body kit.
First. Conor Shanahan has opted to lead first. He sticks to his guns, sticks to what he knows. Brzezinski pulls up in that chase position. Now, once again, if you're new to Drift Masters, we don't have a chicane anymore here at Drift Masters. We now have a laser beam across the track. So once that light goes green, the lead car has 1.5 seconds to break the beam before it's deemed a false start.
So technologically advanced, we now have.
He's so locked in. He's so locked in. It's funny.
Of course, the
He
chase car
said
is staged back.
I was gonna look at the damn camera.
Creep off the line, but here we go. First battle of our qualifying showdown. As we get through the
Red Bull versus Red Bull. Come on, guys, play safe. It's not that serious. It's just qualifying. It's just qualifying.
Outside that GT86, it's Red Bull on Red Bull, Toyota on Toyota. Man versus man right now in Mondello Park as Brzezinski goes for another.
The new body kit does look nicer, honestly. In my opinion, the new body kit it looks nice. The old body kit is more of an arrow, like a bow and arrow pointing thing.
For a lot of these drivers, they do have.
But the new body kit is definitely nicer.
And a setup that is meant for battles. So both these drivers, I don't think they would have had a lot of time to be able to set this up really for battles or be able to practice with it. But both of them in qualifying form doing a great job. And as we get through this run,
I'm glad. Almost had an issue there, but
exactly what he has always done.
Nice. It's just qualifying, entertainment for the drivers.
Really deep through these zones, and Kuba taking a tighter line to try and keep that proximity, and then Shanahan through these transitions so fast on throttle.
All right, that's it.
Amazing job of diving back in at the last zone.
We
trying
are
to end
done.
that run with as much proximity as he can possibly get to get the last impression of his run in the judges' eyes to be one of a very, very tight battle. Although
like a little small comp with the ACS
to keep up with the Irishman, who's absolutely dominant here on his home track.
Yeah, phenomenal. Absolutely brilliant battle. And I love to see it. And as you alluded to, yeah, these cars probably still in qualifying trim.
Yes.
So, you know, a bit like Formula One.
A little bit. I won't say which driver. We had an interesting conversation at what if.
It's amazing how those rims stay white, even with all that smoke and tire debris.
How nuts
You
would
would
that
think
be?
the
Can
cars
we
will get
change it
dirty, but it
after your
doesn't.
first battle, and this is kind of a highlight of what that could look like.
It could look like this. Well, there we go. Back on the line they go. Pushkonski to pull up to the lead position now. Shanahan to chase him down. You can see Shanahan already over that white line. He can creep forward, be in the chase car, but he's going to use the run-in. Light goes green. It will be Pushkonski to lead out Shanahan for a spot in the final of the qualifying showdown. Bumper to bumper already as they fire in. Look at the angle for Pushkonski.
Nice.
Shanahan holds back ever so slightly now, starts to run down, starts to pull in that proximity as Pushkonski goes very wide but deals with it and holds onto it. Shanahan gives him the room to manoeuvre as they flick through the transition. Up into the wall they go as Shanahan looks for the side of that Red Bull GR86. He goes wheel on door across the line.
Kuba set such a great lead run there for Shanahan to be able to do exactly what he does, which is get into the pocket, rub bumpers on transition, and have such a full commitment throughout the entire thing. Conor Shanahan, I haven't asked him this, but I have a feeling he just loves chasing. And lead run is great and all that stuff, but
who doesn't
for
love
me,
chasing?
Conor Shanahan really shows off as much as
Chasing is the best part because you get to put. It's the best and it's also the most stressing part because you don't want to be too close. So you want to have enough time to give the transition.
Kuba out in the lead.
And you don't want to fuck up, mess the other person's car
we
up.
saw with Conor, but really able to fill all the zones. Really good job through all the transitions. But Conor in the pocket the entire time, you know, really showing why he's so dominant in that chase position. And both drivers having a great time out here, fighting for those points. One of it is to maintain a championship lead, and the other to start to move up in the points race and maybe try and get into a bit more of a championship position. As we get this beautiful shot there of Kuba absolutely locked in.
Such a cool shot.
body kit
I
is
love the
just
gold-looking visor. Oh, look at this! And the two
yeah.
spotters shaking hands and waiting for the decision to come in. They're looking at the monitor up there on the spotters area that we've installed this year here at Drift Masters. Both guys out of the car waiting for that decision to drop in. Who's going to take it through to the qualifying showdown
Both
final?
sponsored by Red Bull drivers, Red Bull cars.
You can see that. You know, I was here and you were there and we were doing a thing and
They're the same height.
Decisions in, slide them left for Pushkonski, right for Shanahan. Who's going to take it through to the qualifying showdown
goes to
final? It's going to
Shanahan.
be Conor Shanahan.
A kiss on the bumper was very good.
And I think really well deserved there. Both have had incredible lead runs, and to me, it would have come down to the chase. Conor's being just very consistent all the way through, whereas Kuba had a couple of spots where he need to clean things up a little bit. So, yeah, and Kuba had a really good lead, but a few mistakes. But either way, Conor moving on.
He's moving on, and Becky's down there with Kuba Pushkonski, looking stronger and stronger every round, Becky, and happier and happier. You can't get the smile off his face.
Absolutely, Ian. Kuba, a great result to see you in the qualifying showdown. Again, obviously in 2024, you were here as well. It's got to be a good start to the weekend for you.
Yeah, before this showdown, I thought that last year it was the same. It means that Mondello and
All
Ireland,
right,
I really
tomorrow
like
is going to be a
this
showdown.
tricky weather, what is here,
They're going to go crazy
this
tomorrow.
track is really amazing. It's really like proper speed with good angle, and I really enjoy it.
Prayers goes to Peter. Please,
Is there anybody that you want to
do
see
not
yourself lining
crash.
up against, or any predictions for us?
Oh, I don't have any predictions.
Oh,
for
man.
sure, from top 32 will be tight
Hopefully
fight
nobody
from the
crashes
beginning.
into him as
All
well.
the drivers are really high level, and
AKA
you
James
need to
Deane.
go
I'm looking at you, sir.
possible, and then the judge decide.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations, and we'll see you in the top 32, Kuba. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Becky. Yeah, look, no predictions, and you just go out there and do your thing and let the judges decide.
That's the way to go.
I wouldn't want to decide it.
No, I'm happy
Way
just to
too
talk
tough.
about
I'm
it.
just happy sitting here talking about it, and I hope you guys are happy with us sitting here talking
I think
about
so
it.
far.
Yeah.
No major
no
complaints
one's
filed.
kicked us out of a country yet.
No, I haven't checked the complaint box yet, but I don't think I will. Maybe at the end of the season.
Yeah, maybe at the final.
Yeah. No, it'll be just Tinder. we'll just let it go.
We'll just light it on fire.
Yeah.
So there we go. Kuba Pushkonski makes his
He
way on
has
track.
no
He will
lights.
finish in third position. In our
Now, how the hell
qualifying
does he?
showdown.
Oh yeah, I
Piotr
forget.
Wiecek will finish in.
Drift cars did like a box of Legos. You
I
can
might be
just
wrong.
pop
I might be
things
wrong.
out
I'll
and
get
pop
shouted
things
out
in.
through my ears if I'm wrong. There we go. That lines up our final.
But whenever
for our
night
qualifying
comes, then they
showdown.
probably
It will
just
be
pop
Marco's take on
those
Conor
out and then they
Shanahan.
put in the car.
I'm excited to see
the
Zachary in
headlights.
battle.
Yeah, same. I mean, we're talking about a very, very technical driver paired up against one of the best chase drivers.
All right, that's it,
period.
right?
So that immediately is going to set us up.
Jesus Christ, there's few more?
And the hard part is the tracks are fighting. Really, there's the fight for the
Okay,
championship.
yeah, it's over.
might get
I was
really
about
thin
to
at
say,
that
what
point, but
the-
What becomes interesting are the drivers that are trying to go for the top 10.
Yes.
Because there's so many stories.
All right, people. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. We'll be seeing y'all tomorrow with the battles. Battles are gonna be happening tomorrow. Probably my stream today when I come back from work. And do some Ireland run. I already know the server is gonna be full. Because whatever map we are on in IRL, we are on the sim. Alrighty. Oh, okay. I had a lot of people tuned in. Okay. That's the first. Usually when I'm watching something, people don't tune in that much. Goes to show you a lot of people is finally looking towards drifting. All right. I'm gonna catch ya.